Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of Rugby League. This one, an absolutely massive game. The Pacific nations going head-to-head. Tonga versus Samoa. Now, last week we saw a great game between Samoa and New Zealand. It was relatively close. Samoa having a couple mistakes later on in that contest that fully cost them in that game. So New Zealand, theoretically, they've already booked themselves a spot through to that Pacific Nations Cup final, but the question is, will they be joined by Tonga, or will we see the Samoan come back here, get themselves a win, put themselves right back in the right direction towards that final? Looking through at the starting sides, there have been a couple changes for Samoa in this game. Now, of course, this one taking place at Suncorp Stadium, rather in New Zealand, but the ins for this game, they have got Tyrell May coming into the side, and then also Sua's going out, and they have got Mariota also missing from this game. Lasati comes in for the Samoan side, but Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, he had a decent impact in the game up against New Zealand. He did have some moments, though, that he wasn't anywhere near as much involved as the Samoans would have liked to see. Brian To'o, had he been able to hang on to that pass right at the end of the game, it could have been a whole different story for who walked away with the victory there. Taulangi out on the other wing. Targo and Mariner making up the midfield. Mariner, everything he touched turned to gold in the early stages of the game. He was making meters for fun. He was breaking the line, scoring tries, and he needs that type of performance here up against the Tongans as well. Talangi as that number 6. Jerome Luai in a big battle here at number 7. Going head-to-head with Katoa. That is one that splits opinions in terms of who will have the better game in this contest, but Luai will be up for the challenge. Always loves that physicality and that sort of battle, so that is exactly what we will see for this matchup. Junior Paulo, the big man up front, he had some huge hits in the last game, as well as some very solid runs for that man as well. Nanai and Sasangi then next. Josh Papali'i played the early stages of the match, came off and had a bit of an impact later on in the game. Payne Haas up the front as well, and Tavanga there as the number 9. Looking through at this Tongan starting lineup now, we have not seen this side in action as of yet for this season, but that does not mean they won't come into this game with some sort of form, some sort of passion and physicality, as they always will when they take to the field. But Hopewadi, he is at the back for this game. Daniel Tupou out on one wing, and out on the other, it is Katoa there as that number 5. Koala in the midfield alongside Toya, hopefully I've said that correctly, and then also Onga alongside Katoa as that 6 and 7 combination. The two sides, though, they are in the tunnel at Suncorp Stadium, and there is a determined looking face on the Tongan players here. They know how much this game will matter in terms of making their way through to the next stage. If they were to lose this contest, Tonga, it would mean they need to guarantee a victory up against New Zealand next week, and they'd have to win it by a big enough margin to then book themselves a spot through to that Pacific Championship final. In the fullback, Fusi in the number 16 jersey. That was actually a relatively late change. I believe that happened yesterday for these two sides. So, little bit of a late switch, but nothing too severe in terms of those changes. Wong and Katoa there as well. Whanua Blake, him in this matchup going head-to-head up against the likes of a Payne Haas, a Junior Paulo. Josh Papali is just going to be absolutely insane. And then Havili is there alongside, I always say his name wrong, but Utukamanu. Hopefully I've said that relatively close to correct in that regard. But looking through at the comments, we have got a huge amount of people here already. It is greatly appreciated you all being here. We have got also Just Woke Up, says Fortnite, come on, says Tyrone Smith, easy win for the ref, says Lol Philly. I mean, I think both of these sides will definitely want to have a bit more of an impact than the referee does out there on the field. Good luck for Toa Samoa, says EC there. And also go Toa Samoa, says Levi. And there as well, we have got there, we want to see the players, not you explaining what they're doing. So you will have to get either Sky, or you will have to get, I believe it's on Fox in Australia, but there aren't too many free options for watching this game, sadly. But we will be doing the play-by-play all throughout the matchup. But if you're able to find another broadcast with the actual coverage, it won't be on YouTube, mainly because everything gets taken straight down because of copyright. We have got there, Stefano's stuck, says ARW, right, we've got the national anthems just about to take place, though. Jesus is going to win this match, says Margaret at Samoa, says Lucifina, and Hamish is the GOAT, says George, and it is greatly appreciated you all being here for this matchup. Tell you what, the crowd have turned up big time for this game at Suncorp Stadium. There is just a big feeling about this type of matchup, and it is always awesome when you see two Pacific Island sides show what they can do out there on the rugby league field. They will not be going down easy here. Everyone will be putting in those big hits. They'll be getting in each other's faces, which is exactly what everyone likes to see in this Pacific Championships competition. But what is still to come in this comp? It is New Zealand versus Tonga next week. That game can either mean everything for Tonga, or it could actually mean very little. If New Zealand and Tonga both get one win each in their first games, it does mean that no matter what, that will be the rematch of the final anyway, but it will be a little bit of a prelim, getting to see each other, feel each other out before getting back out there on the field for that final the next week. But the game between New Zealand versus Samoa, in the early stages of the contest, we didn't really see Samoa at all find their strides. They were struggling to make the meters, but as the match progressed, that was when we saw Samoa's confidence start to grow, and perhaps that was also that cohesion, the chemistry, starting to go that way as well. And then they started to take to the Kiwis. It was a nerve-wracking second 40 for a lot of New Zealand supporters. And then the late comeback, it also seemed like it was going to be on for Samoa, but just a couple little handling errors along the way, mistakes being made, did end up costing Toa Samoa side. But New Zealand, they feel, I would think, pretty confident heading into that next game up against the Tongans, purely because even if they lose, they should theoretically still go through as long as Tonga got themselves the win in this contest. But there is still a lot on the line and a lot of rugby league to be played. These are the matches that we have seen already. Papua New Guinea getting themselves the win in the Cook Islands game in the Pacific Championship Bowl match. And then the week prior, we did actually see Fiji beat the Cook Islands. So we get to see the two winners from the bowl go head-to-head next week in Fiji and Papua New Guinea. We are hoping to cover that game on the channel. And then we did see the first match of the Ashes for the Rugby League. It was nowhere near as close as everyone had hoped for, but about the type of score that people were expecting. 26 points to Australia and 6 to the English. Still plenty more rugby league to come as well. These are the upcoming men's matches. We've still got the two more matches between England and the Australians. And then, like I said, New Zealand, Tonga next week alongside Papua New Guinea going head-to-head with the Flying Fijians. Come on, Tonga, says Mudguts there. And also we have got their morning mate, says, come Brian, welcome in. Hope you're doing extremely well. Tonga by 200 points to nil. Maybe a little bit too high of a score there, but do let me know your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of who you think will be able to win this contest. At the moment, it is the Tongan national anthem being sung, and then we will be underway for this match in the very near future. Any parades down in Waimea? Not that I have seen, but whoever wins this game, normally what you do see is a massive celebration the next game or the next day. And to be fair, if it's a close game, I think both of these sides will be absolutely loving the full 80 minutes. Thought that guy was the one from Dan Hooker's street fighting thing for a second there. He did have the Timberland boots, if anyone knows who that guy is. We have got there yesterday, was embarrassing. So here's come Brian there. Yeah, it wasn't anywhere near as close as I think a lot of people wanted to see for an opening game of the Ashes. It was built up as a massive rivalry, and in the end, the Australians were just in control pretty much for the whole match. Now, the good news is we at least did manage to get one try on the board for the English, but they would have liked a huge a lot more. We have got their Rugby League Internationals today. Thankfully, says come Brian. And this game, in the betting odds, everyone has called it pretty much 50-50. Could go either way. And both of these sides have more than enough talent to be able to get the job done. I have a feeling, though, we may see a little bit of a similarity for Tonga as to what we saw last week from the Samoans. A little bit of a slower start, finding their stride. Got to remember this is their first game together as a side for quite some time. A lot of these guys from different NRL teams, so need to find that rhythm and cohesion again. But as soon as they do, there's going to be some big hits, and there are going to be some very sore bodies tomorrow for these two sides. But the two sides in their huddles just before the kickoff, and they're doing Dan Hooker 1 minute fights for dads. I'm thinking of giving it a go, says Johnny Blaze there. Does anyone know if he's streaming the game? Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage or audio would get me taken straight off YouTube, but you won't be able to find it on YouTube, mainly because of the fact that anyone who shows it will get taken down with a copyright strike within a second. We will be doing the play-by-play commentary, so we'll be letting you know exactly who's hitting that ball up, everything that is happening out there on the field. But yeah, due to copyright and not wanting to go to prison, it means that I can't show any footage, or else then you do get taken straight down. And trust me, I know, because the last time that these two sides played, it was in the Rugby League World Cup, and I ended up getting a copyright strike within about 10 seconds. And I didn't even show anything. And go Samoa, says Tala. And we have got there, never get this turnout for the Union teams, sad ones. And then when the teams are winning, says ARW, yeah, this is a phenomenal crowd for this matchup. In regards to the fact that this is a game that does not involve Australia in it, it has taken place in Australia, yet you've got seats that are full all around Suncorp Stadium because they just know when you see the power of the Pacific out there on the field for the Pacific Championships, there's going to be big hits. Like, you are not going to leave this game disappointed. Maybe if you're going for a certain side and they don't perform, but still, even if they do struggle, you're going to see all of the stars out for this game. Junior Paolo at the moment leading his side in the pre-match ritual before we get underway. What's up, Uso, says Tana2. Welcome in, hope you're doing extremely well. And Aussie Polly's everywhere. Says Mudguts, and also we have got there might be 1 minute fights after the game from who loses. Tell you what, both of these sides will be well and truly looking for a fight out there on the park. Jerome Luai getting right up in the front row. And we remember last week, Samoa and New Zealand, they went nose to nose before the match got underway, and there were some big hits because of it in the earlier stages of the contest. Now, we did look through the starting lineup, a few interchange players here for the sides as well. Like I mentioned, there's been a couple changes for Samoa. Tyrell May is in, as well as Lazati, and that was for Jaden Sua and Mariota as well. So a couple great players to make their way off the bench for these two sides, and it may be thoroughly crucial because we've got to remember if there's big hits early on, if it's all on show, people will get sore. They'll be tired. There will be probably at least 5 head knocks in this game because these boys will be tackling around the chest, if not higher, just to try and enforce that physicality out there on the field. But this is the way that the table sits at the moment. New Zealand, they are safe at the top of the bunch. That points differential of 6 could feel like a massive amount by the end of this game, depending on how the result goes. And it is so crucial for Tonga to get themselves a big win here, or for Samoa, if they were to win it, they actually have to go out there and probably win it by at least 10, if not more, just to feel they're a little bit safer. But Samoa, the pre-match has been done, which does now fire the challenge over to Tonga before we get underway in this game. And we have got there also Bruce Giles, the live man. Sadly, due to licensing, we did explain it before. Any match footage or audio gets you taken straight off YouTube, would be banned within 5 seconds. You get banned for 3 months, you get potentially sued. But the best option to be able to watch it is on Fox Sports here in Australia, Sky Sport in New Zealand. They are your 2 best options for being able to watch this game, but sadly both are paid subscriptions. And we have got there, the crowd. Says Nars Williams, good luck to both teams, says Looney Tunes there. And also Solar Police. Says Amelia there, are you showing the game? Sadly, like I said, due to licensing, any match footage gets you taken straight off YouTube. Copyright strike, banned for 3 months, and you're gone for a very long time. So it just means that as much as I would love to show it, if I showed anything, we would be taken off YouTube within about 5 seconds, and you'd still have to find another option for being able to find the game. Whaamalosi Toa Samoa, says Johnny Blaze there. But the standoff before this game. Do let me know who you think will be the most dangerous in this Tongan backline. They've got Hopewadi, they've got Daniel Tupou out on the wing for this game. Katoa in the midfield. I do feel, well, the thing is, number 4s in the last game was so crucial. We did see some massive work from Mariner. And also some brilliant work from the Kiwi 4 throughout that game as well. But Suncorp, there are many Tongan and Samoan flags all around the ground here, which is so great to see. Both sides passionate about their teams. But if you haven't already, do let me know your score predictions for this game, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think will be walking away with the victory? Is it going to be Toa Samoa, or is it going to be the Tongans for this game? Tonga MMT ready to go for their first game. And go Tonga. Says Toa in there. And also, where can I stream this? Can't find the link. Says Sua. So your best bet, if you're in Australia, it would be through, I believe Fox Sports would have this. Or it may even be on KO for Australia, depending on the broadcaster who picked it up. And then alongside that in New Zealand, it's on Sky Sport 3, which is the best way to watch if any of you guys are in New Zealand and have a Sky subscription. And King of Samoa. And also we've got there, let's go Tonga. Says Isha there too. And Katoa all day, says Mudguts, who's going to go on and have a great performance. But yeah, get those score predictions in, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think that there, Laufili is going for the draw, so that would be extremely close if that was the case. But we are less than a minute away from the kickoff of this matchup. Both sides, tell you what, there'll be a few goosebumps around the stadium at the moment. There'll be a few goosebumps out there on the field for these two sides as well, because they are having a stare down and a half before we get underway for the second round of the Pacific Championships. A Hoipa Samoan flags there from Lima, trying to get behind the side to fire back from last week. They did only get defeated by a narrow margin. The 6 points last game for Tonga, it looked like at times that they were going to be able to edge out a draw in that game. Just those last passes weren't quite sticking in their hands, but Samoa making a lot more meters when they started finding their rhythm later on in the game. But Tonga finished their pre-match. Samoa have done the same. The standoff is a little bit longer afterwards. In fact, both sides holding the pose and locking eyes, getting ready to go. And tell you what, Whanua Blake's about as scary of an individual as you can look out there on the field at the moment for the Tongans. Start the game says Faiteli, both sides just about to get underway. Junior Paulo leading for Samoa before the match. The thing is, there are so many collisions that are going to be taking place out there on the field from the big physical forward time, the game in the UK time. The game is kicking off in 1 minute. So I believe that would be 6 p.m. for you guys in the UK. They are a little bit behind. I think that happened last game as well. Just joined your stream during the Pacific Nations Cup final. Says Riemann, it is greatly appreciated you being here. We have got a donation. Toa Samoa, let's go, says Miss Ones. Thank you very much for your generosity. As always, greatly appreciated. And yes, Samoa, this is pretty much do or die for their Pacific Championships competition. They need the win here. And if they get it, they'll be in a very good position. Where's the bro George? He is working today, so sadly he wasn't going to be able to join me for this game. MMT baby, says NJ there. And Toa Samoa, says Senituli. And there as well. We have got there, show the game. Sadly, like I said, due to licensing, any match footage gets you taken straight off YouTube with a copyright strike because of the broadcasters who have got control of being able to show it. Where can I watch the game? Says Ruby Jean. Depends on the country you are in. If you're in New Zealand, your best option is Sky Sport 3. They start already. They are about 2 or 3 minutes behind the starting time that they were initially aiming for. That can normally happen for these matches. Definitely when you've got national anthems involved as well. But Roger Tuavasa-Sheck, I just feel like this is the type of game where he could be extremely dangerous in this contest. If he can lock in his focus early, run it from the back, and Toa Samoa all day, says Laisho Speed, and Samoa Toa, says Senituli. And there as well. And what time's the game in Tonga? So the game in Tonga will still be kicking off in 1 minute time. And we have got there watching from Papua New Guinea. And yeah, hopefully we are going to be covering Papua New Guinea versus Fiji next week. And the Sevens, what time do we start? Starting in about a minute, maybe only about 20 seconds now. The ball is in the hands of Tonga. They are going to be kicking off. What about Fiji Bati? So, yeah, we are going to be covering them hopefully next week in their game up against PNG. Payne Haas getting ready to go for this contest. Referee, this is going to be a hard game to control, definitely because of the big collisions. Are you putting it on yet? We are doing the play-by-play commentary, like I mentioned earlier on, copyright. Anytime that you show match footage or audio on YouTube, even if we listened to a second of commentary on the channel, it would get us taken down. But 5 seconds remaining. Tonga kicking off this one from left to right at Suncorp Stadium, and we are underway for round 2 of the Pacific Championships competition. Bit of a low skidding one there from Tonga to get us underway, and Brian To'o gets the first carry of the game. Tackled by Sione Katoa, and also would have been Eliza Katoa as well out there on the field. Tonga, they weren't, I was going to say they weren't in action last week. Samoa were, and they weren't making a huge amount of early meters. Payne Haas hits it up for the third tackle. And around the grounds. And also we have got the please show. Sadly, like I said, licensing any match footage or audio would get us taken straight off YouTube within 5 seconds. So we have to do the play-by-play commentary. Otherwise, they would just strike us straight away. People think we're joking, but we've already had like 5 copyright strikes from not showing the game. So imagine what they'd do if we did. But now 50 seconds gone. 35 metres game for the first set from the Samoans. Kick downfield from Jerome Luai. Fielding the ball just outside of their 10-metre line. And they hit up from Hopawari. It's going to get driven backwards. Massive physicality early on show from the Samoans. And a little bit of back chat as well from Payne Haas. Just letting him know what he thought of that run. And again, Samoa going to drive the Tongans backwards. Daniel Tupou this time losing about 5 metres. So Samoa straight away showing exactly what their plan is in this contest. The big shot coming in from Jeremiah Nanai. He may have hurt his shoulder in the process of making that tackle. Ball is dropped and a little bit of afters there too. Tonga with the fumble, and there is already an injury here. Head knock big time, and the Tongan player, he looked like he was knocked out for a second. He's back up now, but he is a little bit wobbly on his feet here for a Toika Manu. And we have got there looking great again in the black hoodie, and also we have got there, please play MMT and Toa Samoa. This is your 7th game in the last day or so, Machine says Nars Williams. It is about our 15th hour of live streaming and just around the last 24 hours of or so. But a massive shot coming in, and it looks like there's actually a knee injury here as well for one of the Tongan players. I don't believe this is Tuika Manu, who looks like he wants to continue in this game, but after how long he stayed down for, that may not be the best idea. We're going to see the collision now. Right, it wasn't that bad. The first collision and just on the jaw there, getting sat down by Francis Molo. Oh, we have got that go Tonga, says Kelly there. Yeah, this was flush on the chin. He looks like he is jogging towards the sideline, I would have to guess. I don't think he can continue in this. Tell you what, is he going to continue? No, they're going to make that change. They are going to take a Tuika Manu off the field for a head injury assessment, and we've only been going for 90 seconds in this game. But now, it does mean that Tonga have got themselves the ball. Still dealing with a bit of a knee injury and back play here at the moment. That is the last thing that they want. They could have 2 injuries within the first about maybe 90 seconds of this game, but they've kicked that ball into touch and now 40 metres out from the line, using it quickly there for the Tongans. And Toa Samoa, says Legion there. Nice run up from Katoa. Oh, big collision again. Tell you what, there are not any kind of light shots coming in early. Everyone's going for the jugular right from the get-go. Now, off into the hands of Whanua. Blake just couldn't quite get his offload to Ongi, who was running alongside him, but some good meters being made from Tonga. After 3 tackles, they move up to 30 out from the Samoan line. We also see there that Fotuaika, he is the man who made his way onto the field. Katoa passes on the outside, one-on-one defence is strong from the money man last week, Mariner. Oh, up high, kicking this one for Katoa. This one's into the some players are going like that, trying to block it, and it's gone back into the hands of Tonga. Whanua. Blake has to clean it up, still on their final tackle. Little kick in behind, attempted by Tupou, but it goes to Roger Tuavasa. Sheck takes it in the in-goal area, and he'll run it up to the 20-metre mark. And it's going to be the handover for the Samoans. We have got a new channel member, and Kenna, thank you very much, greatly appreciated. You now have access to those exclusive emojis on the channel, so be sure to use them all throughout this matchup. Chahu, says Kapachkin there. And also we have got their mate Maatonga, or Mati Maatonga, and there too now, Ryan To'o. Big shot, and now penalty goes the way of Samoa. That is a big hit to Tonga already in the early stages. Tonga on top, says Dela. And I mentioned about how similar to what we saw last week for the Samoans, they were a little bit slow at getting their momentum flowing. But then as soon as they found that rhythm, they were extremely dangerous. I'm expecting Tonga after the first about 15 to 20 minutes to really speed this tempo up heading into the halftime break. It's going to be a close game, and Tonga, says Slippy there. Now the first run forward from Payne Haas, and he is driven back at about 5 post-contact going backwards meters from the Tonga defence. Fotuaika helping out with that shot. Junior Paulo now moving up to 40 metres out from Tonga's line. Manages to find the offload, but not really making any extra metres. We did see Halasime, he was aware of it. Now Payne Haas, another carry for him. He had the first tackle of the set, and now he's got the third. So a very busy man at the moment. A pick and go around the side from Samoa, getting a few extra cheap meters. And we have there, can we watch? It is available on Sky Sport. They've got it on, I believe it's on Fox Sports in Australia, but sadly, like I mentioned on YouTube, you won't be able to find this game because of copyright. Any match footage or audio gets you taken down by the big broadcasters, but we are allowed to do the play-by-play. Which at the moment, it's been a hectic first 5 minutes of this whole competition. Going off to the left-hand side, 5th and final, 31 metres, gained by Samoa. Now looking for the offload, can't get it away for Mariner. And that will be the final tackle made. And a great bit of work on defence from the Tongans, who now have got themselves the handover. And there the S symbol is real. Says Legion. Oh, big collision there with Junior Paulo. Samoa are going for the chest and sometimes a little bit higher. in the early stages for the tackling. They're trying to force those errors from the Tongans. Tonga will be well and truly up for this challenge. Nice run forward from Sione Katoa this time. Off to the left. Little step coming in from Hopawati. And Tonga is the king, says SMM. Yeah, if you haven't already, do let me know your score predictions for this game. Big fending from Whenua. Blake can't quite get through the line. After the low tackles made by Samoa, fifth and final, they made 33 metres in their set. So at the moment, no one's really getting that 50-metre set as of yet, but that does not mean we won't see it as this match wears on. Brian To'o driven sideways. Samoa's winning, says Technoblade. And also, who's got the loudest crowd? I honestly think it's about 50-50 by the sounds of it. There's a lot of support when Samoa start running that ball, but anytime there's a big hit coming back from the Tongans, the crowd are certainly letting their voices be heard. Now 40 metres out from their line, Samoa moving up to halfway. The run from RTS. Tuavasa Sheck getting his first game for Samoa. And the last contest, little kick attempted in behind from Luai, but it's charged down by the Tongans, or not even so much as charged down. I think they've called it as a knock on there. So it is going to be the hands on the ball for him. He's saying it's a charge down. Referee saying he's ruling it as a knock on, which would mean that Samoa now get themselves the possession. He's gone for the catch and it has bumped out there. We have got the highs. Hamish and everyone picking Tonga. 24 points to 20. Love both teams. And go Tonga, come on, says SMM. And also we've got that out too early in the morning here in Cape Town. Yeah, it's a very early morning start for you guys in South Africa as well as in the Northern Hemisphere. So it is hugely appreciated. You guys all popping in for this matchup. We've got plenty more coming of the Pacific Championships. Going to be covering the match next week, taking place between Tonga and New Zealand, and then also Papua New Guinea versus Fiji. Hoping to do that game on the channel as well. But Samoa, they have got themselves possession 25 metres out from the Tongan line, trying to step. But so far, Tonga's defence been pretty solid for the early stages of this match in their first game of 2025. Luai was almost lined up there by Eliza Katoa. Wanted to get that big shot in. Nanai now getting Samoa to 10 metres out from the line. Junior Partlow goes back to Luai, getting two-man tackle, but he gets his offload away to Payne Haas. Now bumps off one. Another offload, bit risky here from Samoa, but trying to keep that ball alive. Almost breaking the line was Jeremiah Nanai. 7 metres from the line now for Samoa. Little pick and go snipe round the side of the breakdown and drag down just a metre short of the try line. Although he had a little half by reach out at the line. Fifth and final. Junior Paulo playing first receiver. Skip pass on the outside. Shoveled on. Step inwards for the Samoans. Looking for the offload. Talangi manages to do so. Another step pass. One more. Samoa in the corner with Isaac Targo. And that should be the first try of the day. And in front of the crowd as well with the Samoan flags. Waving them with pride after Samoa strike first in this contest. But it was just that 1/2 second away for Tonga to be able to complete that set on defence. But every time Samoa just looking for that next offload. Bit of a fumble there out wide, but it actually worked in the favour. Talangi able to cut it back inwards and then offloading as he was going to ground. And then the one more pass on the outside coming from Blaze Talangi with the vision. Oh, come on, says Zion there. And just like the game, Solly says it was there from Vitali. Sadly, any match footage or audio gets you taken straight off YouTube. It is one of those ones that, like, normally, even if it's a second, you're gone. 90-day ban, probably getting, or not just suspended, but sued by either Sky Sport or by the Australian who are broadcasting this game for Amanosi Samoa. And are you going to show the game, G? We don't want to watch your face. The best option is to have either the Sky subscription or Fox Sports, I believe, are the two options for showing this. But sadly, there aren't a lot of free options around, which I think is absolutely rubbish. They should have a free-to-air game of this one because I'm sure the whole of the Pacific Islands would be watching this game with intent. It's a great finish there from Isaac Targo in the corner. Didn't have a lot of space to work with whatsoever, so does that forward roll dive. The try's confirmed by the bunker. So it has all been cleared, and it means that Samoa now have got themselves a lead. Now, I will mention it's not 68 minutes through the first half, and I'm not sure why it now says 70. We'll try and get that one sorted in the near future. I think they're doing it in reverse, so it is actually 10 minutes gone rather than the 70. Now lining up this one, And that one's missed away to the side for Blaze Talangi, making the score after the first 10 minutes of this game, still sitting 4-0. Can we watch the game? It is available on Sky Sport and also on the NRL website. They've got the where to list or where to watch list. So depending on the country you're in, will depend on what game and what coverage you are able to watch. But sadly, it is all through paid subscription. We have there, you want them to lose the hard work of the subscribers? I think a lot of people would say yes. Like, they wouldn't mind if I got banned off YouTube because of showing the game for 5 seconds, if it meant that they got 5 seconds of watching this game. But the highlights will also be up on YouTube after this game as well. But sadly, they have pretty much locked it so that you have to have a paid subscription of something to be able to watch it. Let's go Samoa. There's Ivana there, but they are now leading 4-0 here for these Samoans. A good start to this match. I thought that Tonga would start slowly, and that's about what we've seen so far. Nice run forward from Brian To'o. We have got there. Let's go Tongan. Says Alilua. Let's go turn up the heat. Super Saiyan Samoans. Says Legion. But yeah, exactly the start to the match that they would have been after Toa all day as well. Says Vanilla. Nice run forward from Payne Haas. To the right-hand side now. Now another step from Taulangi. We'll be sitting about 40 metres out from their own line at the moment. Here comes Junior Paulo with the step. That is the 5th and final round the halfway line. This time making about the 52 metres. Passed across to Jerome Luai, and he will kick it up high. Chasing after this one is the Toa Samoa line, but it is an uncontested one at the back for Sione Katoa. Where are you watching it? Where are you watching it? So I am watching it on Sky Sport 3 here in New Zealand. Off to the left-hand side for the Tongans. Oh, Junior Paulo getting his head on the wrong side there. He is a tough individual after making the tackle on Robert Toya. Passed across to the left-hand side. Tonga sitting 25 out from his line. And let's go Tonga, says Fancy in there, and 4 points. Yep, at the moment, 4 points in favour of the Samoans. I will mention the clock in terms of, well, it says 72, but that is incorrect. It is currently only the 12 minutes through in this contest. Another run forward from Whenua Blake. That'll be the 5th and final. Not a huge amount of metres made there for Tonga. Good defensive set from Samoa. And now kick downfield from Yongi. And who's watching on the TV? Now, Roger Tuavasa-Sheck running it back. Low tackle made by Tonga again. That was Yongi, who had chased his own kick downfield 40 metres from their own line. Samoa, in just their 2 phases, they have almost made as many metres as Tonga did throughout their 5. It's going to be a closer game. Yeah, I think this one could easily go down to the wire between these two sides. Now pick and go again this time, coming from Blaze Talangi to get himself the try assist earlier on with the pass to Isaac Targo. That seems to have built his confidence that little bit more. Now going off Brian. In fact, it is now Jerome Luai. Oh, interception chance, but nicely cleaned up by Brian To'o. I think it's going to be called as play on, but it will be a set restart for the Samoans. Now popping it up into the hands of it will be Junior Paulo to Sasangi. And come on, Tonga, says Miguel. Out, another step, 10 metres out from the line. Poor Samoa getting right into the perfect part of the field. Going left-hand side. Blaze Talangi throwing himself at the opposition. Tell you what, he's not the biggest man out on the field, but you think he was with the way that he just tried to carry that through 3 defenders. Junior Paulo, wide cut out past him. Jerome Luai, 3 men on the outside, but he's just going to go for a jog and a change of direction back and getting it set in the middle of the field for Junior Paulo. 5th and final. Chance here. Jerome Luai. 10 metres out from the line. Shifting across. Roger Tuavasa-Sheck over the top to Tor. Little grubber in behind, but it's well defended, I believe, by Tonga. Just about getting back there was Katoa. But they may just check this one. He's got it as no try, as they do believe Eliza Katoa managed to get himself the grounding here. But they may have to check this, because it looked pretty close. Little smart play from Jerome. Or in fact, it was Brian To'o with that small grubber. He had 3 defenders on him. Managed to break through them anyway, and it's going to be that hand of Eliza Katoa. He had to get the grounding. He missed the ball. He didn't touch it, which means they just need a grounding of some sort from someone. Brian To'o was sliding on his face, so no one touched that ball in the end. Look at that, Tongans all talk. It's early on in this game, though. And I do think that as the match wears on, we've got to remember, Samoa have 80 minutes of experience from last week, whereas Tonga, they did not play. They had to sit and watch these two sides, Samoa and New Zealand, go head-to-head. So They will be a bit slow starting, but after that first 20 or so minutes, I think we're going to start to see Tonga start to fire. Similar to what we saw from the Samoans last week, but the ball in the hands of Tonga now. And we'll get there first. Oh, and a penalty there. And that is going to go against Jeremiah Nanai, I should say, for a high tackle by the looks of it here. And come on, Samoa, my dog bet all his money. So here's Melee there. And also Tonga, come on, let's go, boys. So here's Ruth in there as well. So that is a holding down penalty going the way of the Tongans. MG calm down. So here's Lima there. I think Melee may have got his buttons stuck. Just spamming it big time. Go Toa Samoa. So here's O there. Your dad wasted his money, says Lima. Yeah, see, this one for me still a 50-50. Even though Samoa lead, I just don't know if they're going to be able to get away and get a massive win here. I feel like it could be close, right down to the wire, similar to what we saw last week. Come on, Tonga, my cousin is on your team. Says Slippy there, but currently Tonga have got the ball 40 metres out from the Samoan line. Good leg strength being shown by Fodawaika. We have not seen the return for the player who took the head knock early on in the game. Toika Manu for Noah Blake. Few extra metres made before Payne Haas does finish off the tackle on him. I think they wanted the set restart, not given it though by the referee. Going back across, that's going to be a knock on from Samoa, so that will give them that restart of the set. And it does mean that Tonga have 5 good tackles in front now. Wait, what happened to Stefano Toika Manu? He did end up with the head knock pretty much in the first 90 seconds of the game. He ended up with a shoulder right to the jaw. And sadly has not returned back out onto the field. He stayed down for a little while, but he's back. He walked off, or in fact, he jogged off the field. So that's at least one good sign. The best live stream right here, says Lehman. It is greatly appreciated you guys all being out. I am going to be back for next week's game between Tonga and New Zealand, as well as the final that is taking place in a couple weeks' time. So be sure to stick around for that one. But looping around play here for Tonga. Thought about the pass on the outside. Now finds the hands close to the sideline. Something beautiful. Twinkle toes coming from the Tongan winger. But he's going to be dragged down just short of the line for Sione Katoa. Oh, hang on. The referee had already blown the whistle for something else. Oh, we have got there. How's it, Hamish? Says Anthony. And so good to see Pacific players playing for Pacific teams. Says Deep Bunk. And also, let's go Tonga. Says Vuki there. Oh, I'll tell you what. They've called it as a 4 pass out wide. I don't know how forward that one was. We have got there. What obstruction, says Ruth. But now it is going to be the scrum chance here for Samoa. That did look like at least one that you'd look at afterwards to see if it was forward. But the big moment there for the Tongans, we want it more, says Kelston. Now ball goes in, Jerome Luai. Back across to the right-hand side, run forward. So now Samoa about 22 metres out from their try line. And kia ora again, Hammy Bro, says Brother G, welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing well. MMT boy, says Sonny there too. And I have to say, it's absolutely awesome the fact that we've got people supporting both sides in this contest. It does seem like a relatively even split at the moment, just like this game is expected to be. Currently, Samoa, they have had the better of the early stages in this contest. But that does not mean that that is the way that it will stay throughout the later stages of the game as well. Now running forward, Payne Haas. I don't have a cousin playing in any of the teams. Says Bruce. And we have there's Bitbox working for anyone. It sometimes gets a bit glitchy, I think, from what some people have said in the chat, but that one's going to go high. Oh, Jerome Luai. Did he get cleaned out there chasing after him? In fact, it would have been Jeremiah Nanai. There's a knock-on from the Tongans anyway. And this is going to be in a good position. What we're quickly going to do is we're going to go like this with a little bit of luck and go like that. They're just talking about the fact that it could have actually been a penalty because of getting bumped out of the way. We'll go like that, and we're actually going to change this. There we go. Hopefully we'll be able to do that all throughout the match and stop it from getting into really random times. Is it going to... Wait 1 second. We'll go like that as well. Like that and like that. There we go. Hopefully that will work a little bit better because it did say about 78 minutes just before, which was nowhere near correct, and that's going to be another penalty this time going the way of Samoa. It's an easy 2 points if they want it, but I think that this early on in the game, while they got Tonga under a little bit of pressure, they may look to go for a set here. I think there's a big decision being made. By the sounds of it, Samoa may be calling for that scrum yet again. And Stefano stuck we up. Says Gelson there. And how do you watch it? It is available on Sky Sport 3 here in New Zealand. And then alongside that, I believe that in Australia, it might be on Fox Sport. I think that is where you find most of the league, or it might be actually on 9, sorry. Just talking about another infringement. Could end up with a sin bin early on here for Tonga. It looks like this one's going to be slowed down a little bit by both sides, just having a bit of a drinks break after the first 20 minutes of what has been hectic rugby. And here says Kelston. And as well, given a Payne, he wants it. He's had a lot of carries already in this game, Payne Haas, getting heavily involved throughout the early stages. Junior Paulo, he's been massive on defence so far for the Samoans, putting in the big hits, and they are just showing that man, Whanua Blake, type of man who could really make a difference here for Tonga if he can get his hands on the ball that little bit more. So Samoa actually opting for the 2-point attempt here. That is, I guess, the safer bet at the moment, but it extends the lead to 6, which can be quite crucial this type of match. Mati Matonga says Moaza there. And also, it looks like Tonga is still warming up. Come on, MMT says, John, yeah, I gave them 20 minutes for the start of this game where they would be a little bit rusty and building into it. So now we're getting towards that stage where they should start to make those extra meters, because if they don't, then Samoa may be able to control this game relatively well throughout the rest of the half. But lining up the strike of the ball, and the kick has gone over, and that is going to now make the score 6-0. We will quickly change the time as well, because once again, it wants to go to 80 minutes, which is not correct. There we go. We'll try and keep that one updated as much as we can throughout it. We have the rights to the game. Heck yeah, let's go. Says Mark. And also, we have got there, stay warm, we hot, says Kelston. So a 6-0 lead now for the Samoans. Surely someone find a link to watch for free. You probably end up with a virus as well, though. But because of the fact that there is a chance that if you try and watch it illegally on a website, you could get like a virus or get hacked or anything like that. I can't actually recommend any, because or else then I am going to get sued by someone. Hey, sir, says Salah. Now this one's going to be kicked downfield. Nicely taken by Jerome Luai. Running this one back forward, and big collision there. But well done by Kalfusi. Just stood strong and didn't allow those extra meters to be made. Nice step from Payne Haas. Samoa looking like they're really trying to up the tempo here and get job and buy a ticket. Says Defunct. I don't even know how many tickets were free at the end of this because it looks pretty close to sold out for these two sides, which is absolutely awesome to see. Now going off to the right-hand side. Now rolling this one back off to the left-hand side. Jerome Luai. Ball on the inside to Junior Paulo as they sit about 32 metres out from the Tongan try line now. Fifth and final. They made 64 metres with that set. Jerome Luai going high here, and it's going to be a good chase coming from Samoa. 3 men going for it, but well handled at the back for Tonga, and a bit of a spin there from Sione Katoa. Offloads as well to his teammate. More meters being made of a good fend and step. We have got there the Samoan flags from Juliana, and go Tonga as well, says Josie. Now moving up towards that halfway line from Toya. This is one of the best attacking chances we have seen for Tonga in recent times, mainly because of that 6 again call that has just happened. Plenty more phases to work with. This will be the first time perhaps that Tonga get over 50 metres in their set, as long as they hang on to a Kalfusi, extends the forearm into the throat of the opposition. Going off to the left for Noah Blake, shoveling in behind, backline movement opening up again, ball in the hands of Daniel Tupou out wide. He puts in the fend before he gets wrestled down by Isaac Targo. Go Samoa, says Juliana there. Now off to the right once more. To third for the tackle count. Shot from Junior Paulo as he chops him down about 20 metres out from the line. Now going back across to the left-hand side. Tonga. Oh, a little bit of a fumble there from Katoa, but manages to regather. We have got their shots the game. Sadly, due to copyright, any match footage or audio would get me taken straight off YouTube with a copyright strike. Little kick attempted. Crossfield, 44 metres game for Tonga, and it's grabbed at the back for Samoa. They have got themselves that ball again this time. It has Dean Mariner underneath it. He'll surely show the game. If I showed match footage, we get taken off YouTube within 5 seconds. There's an automatic copyright process that it goes through, that if it matches it to the algorithm, or not the algorithm, but matches it to the match, then you do get copyright struck automatically without even having anyone have to click on it to do it. We have got now 30 metres out from the line for the Samoans. MMT, there's Isaiah there. Up to 4th tackle already for Toa Samoa as Isaac Targo, the lone try scorer at this point in time. Up to the 30 metres gained. Now kicking in behind for Jerome Luai. I think he was half by attempting a 50-22, but Tonga had 2 men back ready to cover it. We've seen Hopewadi run the ball here. I can't think of a time that I've actually said that man's name. He's playing in that number 15 jersey for this matchup, but we have not seen him a huge amount as of yet. Big driving tackle made from Junior Paulo. Now off to the left-hand side once more. Tonga, their biggest meters gain. There was Hopewadi with the ball right there. Now off to the right-hand side. Our man didn't use complain and go, oh no. We've got the, come on, Red, see, rise up. Says Sleepy. Looks like someone's down for Tonga at the moment, moving up to halfway. Popping it in behind. Going to loop around to the left-hand side, but another great defensive set from the Samoans. Now, go on with this one high. Down towards that 15 or so meters out from Samoa's try line and drop ball at the back from Brian Toa. He's got his hands on his hips. He can't quite believe what he has just done as he's given a golden opportunity for the Tongans. Now, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to. Brian Toa, that is not his first handling error he has had in the last couple weeks of this competition. Right at the end of the last game, chance to score out wide, and Toa fumbled the ball. Jerome Luai just looking at Toa, trying to tell him, don't worry about that one, we've still got it. Can we see the game? It's available on Sky Sport as well as on 9 in Australia, I believe is the other option. I think 9's actually free in Australia, isn't it? Now going round the side for the Tongans. It's in about the 7 meters from the try line. The Tongan flag starting to appear in the chat a lot more. Now left-hand side, big skip pass over the top. Daniel Tupou has to wait for it. It was a terrible pass. Just throws that ball infield to try and keep it alive. Get him back up. Another step coming here for Tonga. Space on the left-hand side. Thought about the pass. Tries the offload. And that is a butchered opportunity for the Tongans. They just looked like they were rushing it there. Going for too many little mistakes. Guys, what country are you? Says Christina there. We got New Zealand. So in New Zealand, in terms of your best option, it's on Sky Sport 3. I don't think it's free to air, unfortunately, here in New Zealand. However, there, come on, Tonga, capitalise on this mistake. They just did not, though. First tackle when they already just looked like they were trying to rush it too much. Although, to be fair, that almost didn't look as much like an offload from that angle. It looked like he just fumbled the ball. But you can see the Tongan coach is not happy one bit with what he's just seen there, as it means that Samoa, even after their mistake, are still able to survive. And he says Elizabeth there, and also the Tongan flags. And there too. Now Brian To'o gets to run this ball forward. Has hung on to it this time. The Samoan flags from Christina and Apati there too. Now some quick step and feet from Dean Mariner. Mentioned about it last week. He was one of the stars in the back line for Samoa, managing to score early on. Roger Tuavasa Sheik, who man tackle on him. Looks like an interchange has taken place for the Samoans as well. Looks like a little bit of a limp there, in fact, rather than just a strategic changing for the Samoans. And already we get to see that first carry taking place. Another little step. That is Tavanga, who has made his way on. MMT says Asia, now fifth and final, only 30 metres game for Samoa, although a lot more gained off the boot of Jerome Luai. That one hanging in the sky at Suncorp for a long time. And Opawati, two-man tackle on him by Tavanga, as well as Jeremiah Nanai. And Tokuuso says Elizabeth there. Now another step. They just haven't quite been able to break that first tackle at the moment for the Tongans. That would be making them a lot of extra metres if they could do so. Go Samoa, says Mastered Seat, and let's go Samoa, says Yanita there. Oh, bit of a rough pass, but cleaned up by Katoa. Now the offload from Tonga. They saw the opportunity to keep that ball alive. Katoa now going off to Whenua Blake. And big bump off. Spin attempted as well from Halasima, but can't get through. It's one of the most solid defensive efforts we've seen from Samoa since that last game in terms of certain sets up against the Kiwis. And go Toa Samoa, says Misi there. 30 metres gained. That's a common number at the moment between these two sides in terms of those metres. The sides have been able to gain from their set. Now Roger Tuivasa Sheik running it from the back. Probably gained about 20 metres just by himself there by the time the Tongans to make the tackle on him. It was Ongi who finished it off. Now Brian To'o. Tackled and well held on to. Short side chance for Samoa. Bit of a step there. And cutting across for Dean Mariner. Bumping out of one challenge of Halasima. And let's go Zimbabwe, says Slow Lotion in there as well. Now 40 metres out 4th tackle for the Samoans. Ball goes into the hands of Junior Paolo. Jerome Luai moving it across. Right-hand side. Toa Samoa looks like he's fighting with the grass more than the opposition at the moment. It's like he's got one of his ankles aren't quite doing the job because each time he gets the ball, he's kind of stumbling around a little bit like a baby giraffe that's just been born. Now ball's gone high. Chance there. Taken by Samoa, reaching out. They're over the line. But did he get the grounding? Yes, they say he did. Jeremiah Nanai scores the try for Samoa. And sliding over the goal line like he was a penguin. We've got a lot of animal references going at the moment, but he has done brilliantly to finish that one off. Jeremiah Nanai, he actually accidentally knocked it forward for a start, but regathered it. It's the kick from Luai. Perfect weight on it. 3 Tongans were there, but the only man that touched it was the Toa Samoa number 11. And then is allowed to ground that ball, which is exactly what he was able to do. And no slow motion there. And that is a good finish right there from Jeremiah Nanai. We will update this time at the moment, 30 minutes through in this contest. Do something, Tonga, says Davida. Yeah, this will have to be a frustrating half for the Tongans because they just haven't been able to make those meters. And then when they were given that golden opportunity with the drop ball of To'o, they gave the ball away within one face because they decided to go for a chance of an offload. We have got there. Come on, Tonga, says Elizabeth Samoa. Bro, Tonga, says Melee there. Well, the finish and a half from Jeremiah Nanai, slapping the chest. And the crowd absolutely loving it there. Matausi says Melee there. But now, just the 10 minutes remaining in this first half, and now a 10-point lead. It should become 12, as this one is right out in front of the post. Samoa, you got this. We have got there, I know, right, says Elizabeth. And there as well, they are just showing the replay of the finish again. Just making sure there is a grounding, which there certainly is. He's done well in that regard to be able to finish this one off. Just talking about that finish from Jeremiah Nanai. And it was thoroughly impressive. The fact that he had like 3 guys around him too and still went through. And we have got there, go Samoa, says Donna. What happened, Tonga? They're a bit slow starting. I do feel like it's the same as what we saw last week for Samoa. But Tonga haven't yet found their second gear, but they're going to need to if they want any chance of winning this game because they are slowly falling behind here. Currently down by the 12 points. Those extra 2 that the Tongans were able to take, or sorry, that Samoa were able to take earlier. Let's put it to a comfortable 2-try lead. And come on, Tonga, at least score with 10 minutes left. Keep it going, keep it going, Tonga, says Slow Lotion. And let's go, Samoa, says Timu there. And watch the second half, says Mr. Tupou. Yeah, it's a game of 80 minutes. And Tonga has still got plenty of time remaining, including in this first half. Currently still another 10 minutes to go. Now running this one forward is Josh Papali'i. Was not starting in this game. Instead, an interchange player in this contest. Now running it sideways for Tavanga. Yeah, let's go Samoa, says Timu there as well. Now, going to move forward there with another carry from Simi Sasangi. And it's just easy meters at the moment for Samoa. That was a pick and go off the back of the breakdown. And they probably made about 15 meters from just the individual run there. Samoa already up to the halfway line at the 5th and final. In fact, it's still 4th as Roger Tuivasa-Sheck found the offload. Tavanga gets it good in a 2-man tackle. Now go on to the right. A cross kick attempted by Blaze Talangi hanging in the breeze. But Tonga do well. Managed to claim it with Daniel Tupou. And 685, let's go. Says Tautua, in fact it is, sorry. 9 minutes still remaining on the clock for this first half. Samoa says I show speed. And also the Samoan flags coming in from Islander and Nels. Big collision. It's going to be a run forward by Robert Toya, I believe, is slotting in as that number 4. 35 metres from their line here. Tonga MMT, they need to start getting those extra meters. They've tried the pick and go, but Papali'i was ready for it. Manages to shut it down again. Now 5th and final, in fact. Only making around that 30 or so meters again. It's nicely taken by Brian To'o at the back. And also Lau Samoa says it was Tautua there and Shane Tonga says Ayans. And also second half, there's nothing is going to happen. Says Tautua, is the same team playing in Dubai. Well, is this the same team playing in Dubai? No, because they are playing at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane at the moment in front of what looks like a sold-out crowd for this game. Now back across to the right. Josh Papali'i. Samoa wins, keep the tournament alive. It absolutely does. It means that it becomes a must-win for Tonga next week. And because if New Zealand were able to win that game, that's kicked out on the full from Samoa. Mistake made from Blaze Talangi. And ain't even half time. And you're already getting cheeky, says Thomas. Yeah, there is a long time remaining. We've got to remember last week we saw Samoa have a couple moments later on in the game where they had New Zealand very nervous. Throughout that second half, you'd almost argue that Samoa had the better of it, the exception of maybe 1 or 2 moments for the Kiwis. And still half time. So there's only Lolsi there. And that's okay, Blaze. Yeah, just getting a little bit too much on it there for Blaze Talangi. Still already had that try assist earlier on today. So hasn't had a bad day at the office. That's going to be a set restart. Holding on too long. We will quickly change this time as well. 35 minutes almost passing in this first half of rugby. Legal Union says, Channel. So this game is, oh my goodness, what a tackle that is from Junior Paulo. They're having a chat about it as well. The man who got smashed backwards, Junior Paulo, just asking him what day of the week it was. But that was huge. But this one, Rugby League for this game. A lot of the other games we've covered on the channel this weekend have been Union. But League, you're going to get massive hits like that. In Union, that was probably a yellow card. We're there, 605 on your speaker, says Nels. Now Tonga, 10 metres out from the line. And even after that massive shot, trying to reach out, can't quite get there. The arm wasn't quite long enough for Eliza Katoa. This is fifth and final. Can Tonga fire back? Grubber attempted him behind, but Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is back to be able to cover for the Toa Samoa side. How about Tonga beat the Kiwis and Australia? Says Slow Lotion there. Yeah, well, that's the thing. We could have a situation where it's 1-1-1 in terms of the wins for these sides. At the moment, the way that the table sits, New Zealand are in the box seat. They got themselves that win by the 6 points up against Samoa last week. That's a huge hit from Junior Paulo. Drove all the momentum into it. Tell you what, it's a spear and a half. Payne Haas on the bench was absolutely loving that one too. And the smile on the face of the Tongan player as he was getting smashed into the turf. An upset of the history, says Slow Lotion. And what happened, Tonga, says Ben George, and Tonga for life. Says 104, but now 40 metres out. Going to be Samoa once again. With that ball in the grasp. Now Josh Papali'i with the mullet flowing. Tackle 40 metres out. A little bit of chat going on afterwards between him and the tackler. Junior Paulo, Luai, popping it on the inside to Jeremiah Nanai, the recent try scorer. Good luck to both teams, says Ricky Rick. And also Junior's with the Samoan flag there too. And Samoa says the channel. Junior Paulo off to the right-hand side. It just seems like Samoa are actually almost breaking through the line there for Sasangi, but they're passing it around a lot better here. They aren't hanging on to it for too long, and there's never a time, by the looks of it, that there's only one pass. It's someone else is going to be ready for that next little pass backwards or the ball on the inside. Whereas for Tonga, it seems at the moment just a little bit one-dimensional on attack. And it's not something that we're used to seeing for Tonga. Normally that ball gets thrown around all over the place and they can find gaps for fun. But a little bit of I would call it a hesitant start in this game for the Tongans. But they aren't out of this match yet. And let's go Samoa one more, says Timu. Who won? Whatu Samoa. On top of Tonga. I know that in that last game, Samoa versus Australia in the women's, I think Australia won 16-0. So not quite the best day for the Samoan ladies, but at the moment, good day for the men as they sit 12-0 up. Just 4 minutes remaining in this first half. Carry forward from Kohler. Off to the right-hand side for Noah Blake. Little short pop pass to the hands of the interchange player, Vaimunga. Now, making a few extra meters for Hapawari. I think he needs to be far more involved in the attack here for the Samoans, although it is very hard to want to get involved when you get absolutely smashed every time you touch the ball. That is what the Toa Samoa defense are trying to prove out there on the field. Every time a Samoan tries to run it at them, they're going to force them that little bit further backwards, kick in behind. Attempted here. Tonga have 3 men going up for it. Slap back onto their side. I think it would have been 6 again. It's going to be grabbed now by Samoa. And also the Tongan flags from Taleta and 685. Can you show the screen, please? Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage would get us taken straight off YouTube, unfortunately. But we are going to be doing the play-by-play all throughout it. Dry seas traditional pass. And also we have got there about the 2 different types of parades. Now 45 metres out from the line. Samoa says Peyton there. Oh, big driving tackle made from Tonga. They need much more of the ball throughout the second half if they want a good chance, or even just the metres made. Toa Samoa can't quite sneak through. Anyone want to lend me a bike for the parade later, says Ricky Rick. And also Tonga says Mr. Tupou, Jerome Luai. Already 5 tackles made on the Samoans, kicking it deep. Hopawari waiting back there. In fact, this time it is actually Katoa, it being Sione. And Samoan flags in there as well, and also some Tongan flags there too. Huge collision from Papali'i. It's not an easy day at the office for Tonga at the moment, but they will be enjoying this physicality. A Hopawari 3-man tackle. It's being led low by Chanel Harris Tavita. Who do you think is going to win? I feel like it's going to be split by less than 6, which would mean that we see a little bit of a Tongan comeback at some point here. And I'll be honest, it's a little bit later in this game than I thought we were going to see Samoa score their first try. But they may not be a mile off. They just need that one good set to get them in the right part of the field. Nicely taken at the back from Brian To'o. And it's going to be a penalty against Sia Katoa for the high shot. Samoa in there. Says Langolangi. And also we have got there Tonga not on the scoreboard yet. Yeah, currently still sitting on that nil after the 37 minutes have gone. Quickly get that scoreboard in the right place as well. 38 minutes have passed in this game already. What culture are you? Says Mr. Tupou. I think the box that I used to tick for like school exams and whatnot was just New Zealand European. I believe. We have got there Tonga as well, says Taleta. And Samoa has been motivated, says Lima. Now, Papali'i tackled, 90 seconds remaining in this first half. Junior Paulo goes across to Tavanga. It's going to be held again. Last thing Tonga want here is a set restart. He's obviously Palangi's slow motion. 70 seconds left now. Samoa. Says Saley there too. Now Junior Paulo passes across Jerome Luai. Oh, he almost got absolutely lined up by the Tonga defence. Offload Tavanga. Now we're having to deal with some physicality up in front of his face from Vaimanga. And Solid Commentary mate says KRX. Thank you very much. Anyone who is new, sure, of course, to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be back next week, I should say, with some more rugby league on the channel. Tonga versus New Zealand, as well as Papua New Guinea versus the Fijians. Another offload there. Junior Paulo trying to step around, thought about the offload chance, keeps it alive, and now it's going to be knocked on by the Samoans. And it will be probably 1 or 2 tackles before we reach halftime here. This is an honourable Fijian. And South African, says Johnny Blaze there. And Tonga is selling, says Mr. Tupou. And Best Live, says Lima. Greatly appreciated yet again. And yeah, these games of the Pacific Championships have been absolutely phenomenal to watch. It's been thoroughly awesome action from start to finish here. And like I said, this game is far from over. It's going to be 1 tackle here for the Tongans, so they will try and keep this ball alive. Oh no, almost ended up intercepting it there for Brian To'o. He will just take the tackle, and that will be the end of the first half. 12-0 in favour of the Samoans. That is the best possible start to this game I believe they could have had here. I have faith in Samoa, says Lima. Thanks for the commentary, Hamish, says Chuck D. No worries whatsoever. And Tonga going to win, trust me, says Mango Gamer. So you're expecting the comeback in the second half. Hamish pronounces the island names better than those commentating on TV, says Nars Williams. And also, doing a solid job. Thanks, trying to find a way to watch from the USA. Well, that probably is quite tricky because I don't think rugby league is massive in the US, is it? Even though there are a lot of people who have come from other places around the world who would absolutely love to watch it over there. Got Nels going with the Samoan flags all over the place at the moment. And we have got there as well, Tonga ain't too much, says Timo, and also the Tongan flags from Taleta, and 685 to the world, says Vanilla, but a fast-paced first half. Key point that I will make straight away, right at the start. Also, I should actually mention Setafano Toikamanu. He is not going to be making his way back. He failed his concussion test. So that actually means that he'll be absent for that game next week, up against New Zealand as well. MMT, too much eating in Tonga, says VNZ. I mean, there's some pretty big boys in that team, though, but they need that physicality and size because, like, Samoa are absolutely going for the brutal shots out there at the moment. But the first thing that I will mention about that first half is Tonga just haven't made their meters. Unfortunately, throughout that first half, there were too many times where they had anywhere between 30 and 35 meters made throughout their set, whereas Samoa multiple times were reaching 50 meters made. So it just seems to be slowly Tonga keep on getting themselves forced further and further back into their own half, to which eventually Samoa either have that attacking chance or they take the 2 points like they did a little bit earlier on in the contest. I would say for Tonga, though, they just need to find another passing option. They have been going for just the one pass and then the big hitter. That is something that Samoa have been able to cover. And in fact, they've even had 3 players being able to cover that every once in a while. How shiny is the oil looking, me brother? If you don't mind me asking, how shiny is the oil looking? What does that mean? Is that like a nickname of one of the guys? The oil? Is that a nickname of a player? What happened to Jason Tamalolo and Fanua Blake? That's actually a good question. I thought Tamalolo was actually initially going to be in the starting lineup. To be honest, he's actually in my thumbnail, so I got that wrong. But yeah, I'm not too sure what's happened there. But Fanua Blake's out there on the field at the moment. He's in the number 8 jersey. And we have got the good game for the Samoans and the Tongans. And Tonga, much love from Salt Lake City. And mate, Mate Tonga says 104. Which pronounces islander names better than most Pacific Islanders in New Zealand, Australia, and the US. And so to the commentary says Will and there as well. But second half not too far away from getting underway. Do let me know your score predictions for this game, ladies and gents. I know that Tonga were considered as only slight underdogs, and I believe that was pretty much down to the fact that they did not play last week. So this is halftime, right? It is at the moment, yes. And down by the 12 points, 2 tries being scored by Samoa, 1 out wide for Isaac Targo, and then the other try being scored from Jeremiah Nanai of a bit of a defensive mistake from Tonga after a kick in behind from Luai, saving Jason for second half. I hope needs meters gained, says a slow lotion. And there as well. But yeah, we'll be interested to see what kind of big impact we can see later on in this contest. Much love to both Samoa and Tonga. Says T2 there. And Samoa has big names. They absolutely do. This is one of the most stacked Samoan teams they've had in years. And in fact, I don't know if I can think of a time where Samoa have looked this dangerous from 1 to 13 in terms of just what they've got available this year. So, it's pretty massive for them. But then the thing is, they just didn't quite find their rhythm last week. Better late than never. Just joined. It is greatly appreciated, Bo Kang. You're popping in for this one. We've still got another half ahead of us in this contest. It's been a hectic first one between the sides. Some absolutely huge hits coming in from both of the teams. And Toa Samoa says Peyton there as well on the Tongan flags from Taleta. And also we have got there the Tongan flags from Elizabeth. And they're doing Hamish generally very good with his pronunciations. Says Bruce there, and yeah, it is greatly appreciated. Of course, it does sometimes not roll off the tongue for certain names. So if you hear any names that are sounding a little bit butchered coming out of my mouth, do of course let me know, as we are always happy to try and correct it if it does sound a little bit off. But this is the upcoming game, ladies and gents, New Zealand versus Tonga. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to go like this instead. Makes it a little bit easier. We've got all of the upcoming Rugby League internationals. I will mention the game that would be taking place right here at the bottom will be the final. At the moment, New Zealand, depending on who wins this game, could already have themselves a spot booked. But in that case, they do need Tonga to be the team that wins this contest, and they've still got a little way to go before they get into a position to be able to do so. But Papua New Guinea versus Fiji next week, that's going to be a great game, hard hitting between those two sides. England versus Australia, the second match of the Ashes series. And then also New Zealand versus Tonga. That has taken place on Sunday, 6:05 p.m. So the same time as this one, 1 week away. And we are going to be covering that one on the channel as well. England versus Australia. That will close out the internationals for that series. And that will be happening in around the 13 days' time. But in terms of the table at the moment, if this game was to remain the way that it does at this stage, it would mean that Samoa moved to number 1 on the Pacific Nations Cup standing as their points differential. New Zealand, I believe. In fact, who would be number 1? Both sides would have the exact same points differential. And both would have the exact same points. I'm actually going to... New Zealand would be number 1 because of the head-to-head result with the Samoans. But it would certainly still give a massive opportunity to have a little bit of a reshuffle for what is happening in the later stages of this one. We have got there, you're doing a great job, sir. All good, we can figure out. Says Douglas there. Yeah, see, I've got a couple that I have to hesitate to say because I have to just make sure I'm getting those those pronunciations a little bit closer, but yeah, hopefully they are close enough that you guys are aware of roughly who the player is. And worst comes to worst, I'll start throwing jersey numbers around just in case as well. We have got there, I believe that this is the most stacked Samoan team, but they lost a player to the Wallabies Union team, says Timothy. So what is actually happening at the moment? I'm not sure whether or not it is Tino Fa'asua Malaawi that you're talking about, but what is happening with Tino? Is he making the switch to Samoa, or is he staying with Australia in this near future? Because there were rumours, weren't there, for a long time that he was perhaps looking at making that switch. I'm on my way now to get me a 20-piece fan feast. Says Mark, just looking through position. 58% in favour of the Samoans. Line breaks, they've had the 22 missed tackles from Tonga. They've actually been the more penalty disciplined side throughout that first half, though. 4 against Samoa, 2 against the Tongans, and that completion rate, 17 of their 21 completed for the Samoans, and then 15 of the 18 completed for the Tongans. I assume that's shut up from Still a Cry Baby, living up to the name. We have got the I love you all, little brother, or little Tongan brothers. Let's go Samoa baby, says YB. And we have got their Samoa, says bad boys in there too. And also Toa Samoa, says V Alex in there. We can see the reaction from Payne Haas after that huge hit coming in from Junior Paulo. And there's been some massive physicality throughout the first half of this contest, particularly coming from Samoa. I feel like Tonga, there hasn't been one big moment here where they've had a huge hit that I've gone, okay, they're now fully feeling it and they're in this game. And I feel like that is exactly what they will need at the start of the second half. Michael Jackson is Tongan, says Chief there. And also Samoa says, bad boys, you got this, Tonga. Says bad boys there too. They're just talking about what is needed in the second half for Tonga. I think it's just that next pass. I mentioned about it many times. They hit that ball up. It would be the one pass, and then that was the run. Samoa having maybe 1, 2, or 3 players all ready for it, making the tackle, sometimes driving them backwards. In this scenario, if Tonga want to start finding gaps, they have to take that little bit of a risk, start shoveling it in behind, get it a little bit wider. You've got Daniel Tupou on one wing. You've got Sione Katoa out on the other. So you've got plenty of talent out there in that back. And just to have a little bit of hesitation from the Samoan defence, that may be the best bet, because they're only making the 30 metres at the moment each time that they have a set. And I would love to know those average numbers throughout the set. In fact, we'll see whether or not we can actually find that while we're at the halftime break. We have got there, I'm going horse, if it win or lose Tonga. And also we've got there, go Tonga, says VX Riz. And there as well. And also Samoa says bad boys. And go Tonga, says Vahoi. And if Tonga doesn't score next half, I'm horsing it, says Slow there. Yeah, it's weird that we haven't seen them have that one big moment. But once again, we saw the drop ball from Brian To'o. And that was the perfect position on the field to be able to then go for an attack. And then they lost the ball in the first phase for the Tongans. Time and possession, we've seen an extra 3.5 minutes possession so far for the Samoans. Their completion rate has been 80% compared to the 77 that we've seen from Tonga. All carry meters at the moment is 784 for the Samoans compared to the 519 from Tonga. Post-contact meters, 239 for Samoa, 168 for the Tongans. And average set distance, almost an extra 10 meters here for the Samoans each set. 37.3 on average compared to the 28.8 that we've seen from Tonga. We have got there as well, does this guy show the game? Sadly not. We do the play-by-play commentary though, and we will be letting you know everything that is happening throughout that second half. Quite an interesting stat though, throughout this first half, Tonga actually have the faster average play of the ball. They've got it by an extra 0.17 seconds or 15 seconds, not a massive amount of difference, but also only had the 4 offloads compared to Samoa's 9. We have there goes Samoa, and there as well. And also how the players, or who are the players now, any injured or restricted from players or from playing. So at the moment, the only injury that I know of that was kind of confirmed as well was Atoika Manu. He ended up going off for a head knock. Is this actually real? The scoreline is real, 12 points to 0 at the moment. The way that it sits, bit me to it, says Johnny Blaze. And up the Toa Cuz. And good luck. Second half, boys, got this Samoa. If Tonga lost this one, it'll be a wake-up before they face the Kiwis. Yeah, maybe just the motivation that we need. We've got to remember, it was only last week Samoa lost to New Zealand, And look at how they're playing here. They've looked a lot more structured. They've looked a lot more complete. I should just ignore the people asking to show the game. It takes away from the commentary. Says D-Funk. Yeah, see, it wasn't too bad the first kind of 10 minutes. I don't mind doing it throughout that period just to make sure, like, because some people genuinely just don't know. And it is one that once you know, like, normally they will stop asking. But, yeah, I find it hard to ignore it just because I feel bad that people aren't able to watch the game. And maybe that's just me, like, having too much sympathy. Because at the end of the day, half the time they are saying show the game and then a swear word behind it. But I was still, like, you know, if there was a way of showing it without getting struck, I feel like a lot of people would be doing that. As it's right now, it is 12 points to nil at the moment for the Samoans. There was a missed kick earlier on in the contest, but there was also the extra 2 points from a penalty that Samoa were able to take. We did see the try coming for Isaac Targo in the earlier stages, and also alongside that, we did see the try just a little bit later on for Jeremiah Nanai. Now we have got there, this is the best we can get, thank you. And scoreboard clear, says Naz Williams. And there as well, and win or lose still. Tokouso says Salau, or yeah, there was Salau there. Angabai says Slow Lotion. And there as well, we have got there the Tongan brothers. I will do a favour for Samoa next week, says Douglas. Yeah, so for Samoa, they actually have to win this game, I would say, by a little bit more than this margin. Because points differential, it could actually be something that is considered in the Pacific Championship competition. I'm actually just going to have a quick look and see what the tiebreakers are. I believe your head-to-head result will be a factor. So, theoretically, 1 second, we'll go here, and we'll go like that as well. Tables, Pacific, it hasn't got the tiebreakers on the list. But I believe what it is at the start you go with, of course, whoever has got the most points. Then from there, I want to say it's points differential and then your head-to-head. So Samoa need to really increase their points differential here, so that if Samoa were able to get a narrow victory over New Zealand, it will be a Samoa versus Tonga final. Hi, babe. Says Amberley, welcome and hope you're doing extremely well. Hope you're excited for the second half. It's been a hectic first half, some massive shots coming from both of these sides. They sit in the changing sheds getting ready to go at Suncorp Stadium for another half of hard-hitting rugby. We have got thanks, bro, for your commentary. Says T2, no worries at all. And yeah, it is greatly appreciated you guys being here. Last week was our first game of rugby league that we've covered on the channel in around 2 years. We did cover quite a bit of that Rugby League World Cup in 2023. And yeah, so far it's been a thoroughly entertaining one for these two sides. And, you know, it's making me want to get back into the rugby league side of things a lot more. Good luck, both teams. Says Sammy there. And we have got there, let's go, praise the Lord. Says it was from Fiaini. Hopefully I've said that correctly. And we have got there Malo. Samoa Chahu said Johnny Blaze there, and also the Tongan flags from Taleta, but both sides just in their huddles. Do let me know your end score prediction, ladies and gentlemen, in this contest. Currently 12-0 in favour of Samoa. So the question is, can they continue building momentum, or are they going to be in that scenario where maybe Tonga start a little bit of a comeback in this second half? Do let me know. But also, do let me know who you think is going to score the first try of the second half. I think if it's Samoa, something tells me that Murray Taulangi has not touched the ball anywhere near enough throughout that first half. So I think he's going to score the first try if it is Samoa. If it is a Tongan player, I actually think number 5 as well, Sione Katoa. I feel like we need to see that ball get out to the wings a little bit more throughout this matchup, and perhaps that is where that space and opportunity opens up for both of these teams. They are just showing those match stats though. 22 missed tackles from the Tongans at the moment. How popular are the Kiwis Rugby League team in New Zealand, mate? They've gained a bit of popularity ever since the Warriors have started taking a bit more of a stride and getting a bit more support from the crowd. Like Mount Smart Stadium for the Warriors is always quite the spectacle at the moment. But yeah, I'd say that it's probably bigger now in rugby league than it has been for quite some time, which is brilliant. And hopefully it continues to grow heading towards that Rugby World Cup as well. We have got there Tonga, show the vid. Says, still a crybaby. Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage will get us taken straight down. Thanks for the commentary, bro. Says T2 there. And also it's Samoa, says Renee, in terms of who is going to go on to win this contest. Currently, Samoa do sit 12 points to nil. Got plenty of time remaining in this matchup to try and get something going once again. Hi, Hamish and team, lad and laddies. Says Sana, and who's going to win? Samoa are in the box seat. But that does not mean that this is a certainty that they will go on to win this contest. There is still time and there's still opportunity out there for Tonga. At the end of the day, they always say it. If one side scores 12 points in the first half, the other side can score 12 points in the second. And that is what Tonga have to do here, but they also have to score some more points on top of it as well. And good Toa Samoa, love from Seattle, Washington, says no. So we've got quite a few people from America popping in for the stream, which is absolutely awesome. But Tonga now running this ball for Whanua Blake, trying to lead from the front in the early stages of the second half. How long is halftime? It is now over. And I'm glad to see that the clock is actually going to be updating itself at the right time by the looks of it. In the first half, I had about 90 minutes on the clock. I can tell you right now, if these two sides were playing at the tempo that they were throughout the first, there would be some very tired bodies at the end of a 90-minute period. And Ma'atonga from Hawaii says Joshua there. So what time is it in the US and Hawaii? Of course, Hawaii part of the US, but what time is it over there at the moment for you guys who are scattered throughout the US? Do let me know. Now up to the halfway line, that is fifth and final for Tonga. They average, 6 again. That is a huge bonus here for Tonga MMT. And 8:05, mate, says Joshua. Okay, so not too bad of a time. 11:05 p.m. That one's getting a little bit later. And goes Samoa watching from Utah. And there as well. Going off to the left-hand side here for Tonga. Bit of a rough pass, close to a knock on. It did. It definitely hit a hand. I think they're going to say it's play on just for now. Now Tonga, they are sitting about 25 metres out. Pick and go. Massive chance here for Tonga. Offloading the ball, running on the outside. Has to find the finish. Passes on the inside but can't get it done as they miss the support runner. Instead go to the man who was heavily marked. But Tonga, perfect position on the field. They've got the Samoans under all sorts of pressure. But can they do something with it? That was brilliant defence from the Toa Samoa side though. Fifth and final. Tonga should have scored. Now still the chance to do so though. Short ball. Whanua Blake offload knocked on by Tonga. And the ball goes back into the hands of the Samoans. That was the chance and the opportunity that Tonga had been waiting for. And they couldn't finish it off. Now Roger Tuawasa Shek. The run sideways. Tonga there says to let's go Tonga hammer. And there as well. Now popped up into the hands of Isaac Targo. He was the first man to score in the first half. As could be the first man in the second. Oh, he was sleeping there for a second, Targo. Oh, that was a brilliant break and run from Katoa initially, and then just not quite able to get that next pass that he needed on the inside. Got to take it, Tonga. Says the AI underdog pick there. Now moving up to the halfway line. Samoa again just continuing to make those extra metres just like they did throughout the first half. Jerome Luai, ball on the inside. Junior Paulo, the man who's breaking the line. They move to 25 out from the Tongan line. Great low tackle made by Valmunga. Now Jerome Luai, that's an injury for Paulo and that looks relatively serious. You'd have to hope it's just cramp, but it looked like he was holding the calf, the big man, after his line break. And he's hardly able to walk on that left leg. And now Tonga, ball in hand again. 2 phases to get 10 metres out from their own line. He is still limping at the moment for Junior Paulo. Looks like he's going to run it off. May have just been an awkward way that he landed and almost looked like maybe a bit of a hyperextension of the back of the knee. Now moving it forward. We have to get there, shush, because you're not playing. I assume that, is that to me or to someone in the chat? Now Lute. Well, that was Lute, I should say. Now Tonga sitting around the halfway line. Going off to the left-hand side again. Tonga now passing it off to Whanua Blake. The time in America is 11 p.m, says Luna there. Now 62 metres game from Tonga. That's almost the most that they've made throughout any of their sets. Nicely taken by To'o at the back. 15 out from their line. And Luai has ended up with the ball. I'm not sure how that happened. Almost like a magic trick. Now Tuavasa Shek trying to get through the line again. Tackled by Vaimunga. He's made a lot of tackles there. Warriors teammate on a Warriors teammate there. And also, yes, go to the bench, Polo. And also, just run it straight, says an Ive there. It's something that I don't think that we've seen enough from Tonga throughout this game, although it was that directional change that created the line break for them initially there. I believe their first of the whole game. Now again, Samoa making these easy meters. Looking like Tonga's starting to tire a little bit on defence, and it does mean that Samoa, the structure, is getting them over the line. Now Roger Tuavasa Shek with the spin, wrestled down by Sione Katoa. Whaamalosi Tonga, from Whaamalosi Toa. There's Afira. And who's your favourite, Samoa or Tonga? I love watching both of these sides play. I was very impressed with what we saw from Samoa at times last week. Tonga, they haven't quite found their stride yet, but they're a world-class side when they get it right. Cross kick attempted here. Samoa, this one taking a long time to come down. Offloaded back to Isaac Targo. Chipping behind. It's going to be a chance, but it's claimed in the in-goal area. Tonga trying to run it out. No option, though. They go dead. And it will now be the goal line dropout. He's lying. He likes Tonga more, says Chief there. And 685 says Ray, and run it up, boys. Go the Blues, says Will. And also, yes, says Timu there. But the little chip in behind, it was the right idea for a start, and then well covered by Isaiah Ongi. I'm going to study now, Mr. Kiwi Sir. I'm starting with November exams tomorrow. I'm going to play Mr. Kiwi Sir in the background, says Manil. Well, hopefully your exams do go well. Best of luck to you, and hopefully, it all goes smoothly for yourself. Go Samoa, says Lima. Now that one's going forward. Black Cats 116 for 4. See, I almost got away without any kind of results from that game as of yet. But yeah, I'll be watching the end of that as soon as this game does come to a close. Tonga is bad, says JK. Now currently Samoa, they are only 8 metres out from the try line. Papali'i dragged down 5 metres now, short of getting another try here for Samoa. Looks like someone's tracker just fell out of their jersey. Junior Polo, Jerome Luai, pops it in behind, shoveled on by Toa Samoa, who smashed in a driving tackle, but To'o has done extremely well to be able to claim that ball before it goes out, and he breaks through the Tongan tackle. Still going for Brian To'o. He turned what was a poor pass into a very good attack and play for the Samoans. Junior Polo, numbers on the outside, change of the angle, though I don't think that was the choice for Sasangi. Needed to keep on going to the left. They're going to try it now. Thought about the kicking behind. Blaze stepping. Offload on the outside. Popping it up. Now another offload. Sasangi goes to Luai. 3-on-2 overlap on the outside. Grab it in behind. And the dive there. And the finish from Jeremiah Nanai to get his double in the contest. And that is some great work from Toa Samoa. What started, like I mentioned, as a rough pass from Tuivasa Sheik. They lost about 15-20 metres. But then Brian To'o getting them back on attack. And by then we saw a bit more of Tonga slowing down. And now Luai, just a step and a half there. Get those few extra good metres. And then they shifted it right. Went back left off Blaze Talangi's offload. Sasangi had to keep it alive as well. Luai found the hands of the dangerous Jeremiah Nanai, who kicked it in behind and finished it off. Wake up, Tonga, says D-Lo. And Tonga will lose, says Skywalker. No Kalamatangi. Yeah, he's a big hit not to have in this game. Also, Tamalolo, I thought was going to be playing, but I didn't see his name on the team sheet later on. Tonga, you can't be serious, mate. And we have got there, shut your mouth, no one's losing here. Says Lute, so you're going for a draw in that case. We have got there, Chahu, says Laney there, and there's 18 in-laws in the lounge. It's loud and now it's quiet. Come on, Tonga, fire up, says the underdog pick, but Jeremiah Nanai gets himself the double. And it's his first double ever for Samoa. And New South Wales, Toa Samoa, Chahu. And also we've got there, Rugby is rigged like the NBA, says MMT. And because we can't accept losing, and I also have faith Tonga will make a comeback. I'll be honest, I thought Tonga would have scored quite a while ago in this game. Like, even without certain players that they haven't got here, I still would have thought they were, like, you know, I don't know whether or not that's just me thinking about what we've seen in the past, but it just doesn't seem like we've quite found that same rhythm that you'd normally see from this side. Now lining up this kick here. Yes, it's going to be like the Broncos. Oh, well, to be fair, the Broncos made a little bit of a habit of those late comebacks in the matches. That one's missed away to the side. So a 16-point lead now, though, for Samoa over Tonga MMT. And yes, there's Slippy. And also we've got their man after Parker lost. I'm feeling revived from this Kiwi. From this game, Mr. Kiwi says trash or pass. Yeah, Joseph Parker. That one was a bit controversial, wasn't it? In the end, the decision that was made. But, yeah, having a loss for Joseph Parker. And Samoa C-Team winning. Says Samoa on POV. I'll be right back. I better have some points, says Slippy. But now as the sun starts to go down in Brisbane, The chances starting to become slimmer for Tonga to make a comeback in this game. They need 3 tries. That's kick long, taken in the in-goal area. Nicely done by Brian To'o. You have to give a lot of credit for actually starting off that attacking play. Now we have got the Tongan flags from Taleta. Another run from Jeremiah Nanai. They have to shut him down early. Being able to score off 2 kicks, one of his own and one that he did receive off of Jerome Luai, who's had a pretty controlled game in that number 10 jersey, in that number 7 jersey. Now Josh Papali'i, sitting 45 metres out from their own line here, Samoa. Bit of a knee chop on the back, and I think that's going to be a penalty to the Samoans. Yes, it is. And what a hiding, says Charlie there. And also we've got there, that's actually on report as well. Be interested to see what the decision is there, because he did come in from behind, chopped him down like he was a tree. Now we have got their man stuff that still hurts. Says Yo underdog pick. Means Tonga need to beat the Kiwis by 10. Oh, not finding touch with it for Samoa. And then the ball dropped by Tonga. Chance down the wing for Isaac Targo. That has pretty much summed up the game at the moment. He may have kept that ball alive somehow, some way. Or is it out? Right, they're actually going to have to make a decision here. It looks like there's a bit of confusion out there on the field. But, yeah, the thing is, right, Tonga did all the hard work, keeping the ball in the field of play. And then from there, knocking it on about half a second later, that they then gave Samoa another attacking opportunity. Yeah, I think he almost kept that ball alive, Isaac Targo. This guy you're speaking as if you're joining the team. And all these Tongan talking. Have a look at the score, says Charlie. Now Tonga have got themselves the possession. 10 metres out from their own try line. Seeing here at the moment, halfback trying to fire up the team, get them moving forward. But every single time that Tonga have had the ball, it's been 2 phases where they haven't made any kind of full metres. As a 20-point loss considered a blowout, just asking for a friend. Yeah, that game was a bit rough, wasn't it? I was hoping it would be closer between England and Australia. I'd say 20's pretty convincing. Sorry. Feels like the ref. I put a bet on Samoa, says TJB. And now, 5th and final. Already just about to happen here for the Tongans as they sit only 35 metres out from their line. So only making the 25 metres. Now, and behind, looking for the kick downfield from Zaya Katoa. Now 20 metres out from their line. Roger Tuawasa-Shek, that's 10 metres already. Fair enough, says Sebastian. But that's a big difference. Once again, we see Tonga have 2 phases and they make maybe 8 to 10 metres. Whereas in this scenario, 2 phases for Samoa, they've already made 20. And that's where those extra metres are actually coming from. The rest of the sets have been pretty similar in terms of metres made, but it's that first 2 carries where Samoa have shown that more intent. That's been the big difference maker. Now, moving up to the halfway line already for Samoa off the 4 tackles, 28 minutes through in this contest. A pass across to Tuawasa-Shek. It's another carry involved in this set, 2 in a row. I believe in you, Tonga. Says D-Lo, now 47 metres made. Jerome Luai going high. This one's going to be just out from the Tonga goal line. Oh, tell you what, Jeremiah Nanai was thinking about a hat-trick there. Almost coming down with the possession, but well claimed at the back for Hopawati. And now Tonga, 2 tackles again, just out from their line, about 10 metres. Now we have got there much love from Oklahoma, USA to Toa Samoa, says Tapa there. And also get this ref out of here, says Sione. Bro Samoa's going to win, says Renata. Currently in the box seat, only 27 minutes remaining in this fixture. Driving tackle from Papali'i. And around the bootlaces of the big man, Fotuaika. Been on the field, that's an ugly collision there. Does the ref see it as late or legal? It looks like they're going to say it's legal for now, but Isaiah Katoa a little bit slow, getting back up to his feet, so they're kicking behind, almost like a box kick coming from Tonga as they didn't have their 7 option. Only the second half, let's go Tonga, says Haku. I read the script and Tonga's going to catch up, says Chief. And the one benefit that Tonga have at the moment is that missed kick coming earlier on from the Samoans. It does mean that 3 converted tries for Tonga would get them right back in this game. In fact, they would lead by 2. But another break of the line there. Trying to get back up to play it straight away for Talangi. Here's my pick to score the first try. Luai now breaking. Oh, that was almost a hair grab there. He's grabbing at his hair too, Luai. He's not happy about it. That one might be on report. Thinking about the pass, and it's gone straight to the hands of Tonga. Mistake from Samoa at about a 4-on-2 out wide. but I assume that there would be a penalty coming here if the bunker is having a look at that one. This was a good old grab of the hair. Now, you can't actually do that for the Samoan number 9 in this game, in Tonga, because he hasn't got any. But it's going to be a drop ball from Tonga. Needed his upper. And plenty of time, boys. Time to make the comeback. And Tonga like playing defence. Well, they've had a huge amount of practice in this game, that is for sure. They're going to show the replay. Oh, yeah. Hopawati, a good old grasp of that hair, pulling it back. And I'm very surprised that they haven't picked that up. His hair not part of uniform, says Della. Depends who you talk to, I would say. But, yeah, it sounds like it's going to be fair game. 26 minutes remaining, says Timu there. And also how many minutes till full time? Still another 25 and a half minutes remaining in this contest. So there is still time, but Samoa have actually got themselves a scrum. So I believe they did go back for that penalty. Off to the right-hand side. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck puts on the step and gets 5 metres out from the try line now for Samoa. They've got 4 phases to work with here as well. Tavanga. Now a couple metres from the try line. 3-man tackle from Tonga MMT. Now Harris Tavita plays the halfback role. Whenua Blake. Now back across. Oh, it's defensively sound there, Whenua. We have got there Chahu, says Marinel. I'll say it doesn't sound as cool when I say it. I feel like I got to put my chest into it, but then it just sounds even worse. But yeah, it does sound very cool when anyone but myself says it. We have got there Tonga has been quiet. They just haven't really had the ball. In terms of those meters, crucial meters made. We saw it at halftime, the statistics about the fact that they have made about 100 less post-contact meters and about 300 less meters in general throughout this game. And also averaging 10 less meters per carry set. 44,000 in attendance for this game at Suncorp Stadium. An incredible crowd. I know that the Tongan supporters, they'll be hoping to see a little bit more from their side here. Big driving tackle from Tavanga. 40 meters out from their line at the moment, Tonga. Now up to the halfway line. And for Samoa, this game is actually all about increasing that points differential, because there is half a chance that they can still go through, even if Tonga were to beat the New Zealanders next week. Now another step coming. 4th. Offload from Isaiah Katoa. That's the line break that the Tongans needed. That's a dirty clean out, but the ball's still there. Tonga, did he score it? He may have. And Ongi, has he gone in for the first try for Tonga MMT in this match? They've got the decision to be made, but it looked like there may have been a bit of a clean out of the player who was chasing after it. So I think either way it's going to be a Tongan penalty. But the question is, did they just score? And did Isaiah Ongi get the try? We see that chipping behind from Sonny Luke. There is Tuivasa-Sheck. He's put that arm out and he said, "You're not going round me." And then he does the big hands in the air as if to say, no, I did not do that. Yeah, that's a veteran move from Tuivasa-Sheck, the way that he has done that. Pretty much what he's done is he's gone to put his hands up like this, saying, "I have no impact on it." And the ball was dropped by Tonga in the in-goal area anyway. But he went like this, except rather than putting his hands straight up, he put his hands out to the side first. So what he did is he blocked the man running through, and then from there went, "I was just putting my hands up." Whereas his other arm, he went like that. Adjust the game. Says takes in there. Sadly, due to licensing, cannot show any match footage or audio. He's dropped the shoulder into him, Tuivasa-Sheck there. He has leaned into it. So I think he's got a little bit lucky there with the fact that this ball is now in the hands of the Samoans. Now, that was a little bit high around the neck. And the tackle India for license, the underdog pick. And there as well. But yeah, massive call. That could have been Tuivasa-Sheck going to the bin in that scenario. Big smile on the face. I think that was off Taulangi. He's having a bit of fun out there. And great trick, Roger. Yeah, you don't get to be a veteran of the game without knowing a few tricks, and that was one of them. Did the drop of the shoulder. I was just raising my hands. Just raising the roof, ref. That's all he was doing. But now the ball in the hands of Samoa again. Now Luai on the outside. Couple quick firing stats from Dean Mariner. We haven't seen anywhere near as much of him in the last one, or compared to the last game up against New Zealand. Payne Haas. Directional change again here. And it's starting to open up Tonga, leaving gaps for them to be able to run through. Samoa 10 metres out from the line. Skip past our wide Brian To'o. Little grubber. Tonga claim it just 2 metres out from their try line. Almost forced back into their in-goal area. Just raising their hands, eh? Yeah, just raising them with a little bit of a wider angle is what Toa Samoa will call that. The drop into the shoulder, that doesn't count either. But now 3 metres out from the line for Tonga. They're up to 3 tackles and they have only made 3 metres in this set thus far. Great defence from Samoa. Although now space on the outside. Massive gap for the Tongans to run down. They are going to have to cover a lot of ground to get across there. But Toa Samoa, great cover at fullback to be able to stop Tonga down the wing. That almost could have turned into a set restart as well. Toa Samoa, another little bit of a veteran trick, holding him down for that bit longer. Now Hopawari goes up forward, 40 metres out from the line now for Tonga. This is the set, and at least in probably the next 5 minutes that they need to score a try off. On high, Tonga knocking it back, running onto it. Beautiful step, but they've called it as a knock on. We have got there at the end of the day, we all brothers, says Bro Hood there. Yeah, there's like 45,000 in attendance for this game, which is absolutely incredible. And it just shows that, Pacific Island Rugby League is well and truly alive at the moment. The Rugby World Cup, not too far away for these sides. The Rugby League World Cup, I should say. Why can't we play this against the Kiwis, says Jonathan? Great question. But the thing is, right, that could be the final. At the moment, the way that Samoa are sitting, their points differential is +10. So if New Zealand were able to beat Tonga next week, we would get to see the rematch between Samoa and New Zealand, and that game would be absolutely huge. Tonga will lose. Having slow old players ain't going to help, says Skywalker. But now just the final quarter of the game remaining now in this contest. Toa Samoa, another carry from him. He has been a lot busier in this game. We've got a bit of a double blow of the whistle here from the referee. Right. Oh no. Oh no. They have to stop because of the lightning around the ground. They're going to come back on for tackle 4 there for the final 20 minutes. That could be a 30-minute lightning break. I don't have this planned. I don't know if I've got enough information for 30 minutes. Oh, yeah, that's a big lightning in the background there. So it is for the player. Well, the thing is, it's for player safety. But the people who are sitting on the middle seats in the stands just have to chill out and just have to wait there and hope not to get struck. And bro, what says Poetin? They mentioned here the delay could be an hour. And can I watch the live match, please, from Papua New Guinea? Says Andy, sadly, due to licensing, any match footage or audio would get us taken off. Lightning delay, though, at Suncorp Stadium. That is the last thing that you expect to see for a game of rugby league. Just as I was saying about how Pacific Island Rugby is well and truly kicking. The Lightning said, hang on, don't forget about us. We have got there, God knows this game is Rick says MMT. But yeah, lightning delay. This could be anywhere between, normally what they do is you have to have, I believe it's 30 minutes without a lightning strike within about 5 kilometres of the stadium. At least that's what it is for rugby union. The sides aren't making their way into the tunnel as of yet, though. So that kind of makes me think that they think they're going straight back out there. Okay, it has got there due to storm activity. Yeah, please leave the field immediately is what it says there. I think lightning was meant to hit the referee. It's slow motion and hey Tonga. And also, what the hell, this is crazy, says Johnny Blaze. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not what you expect. Although we did actually have that happen earlier on this year. Wow, that's some big lightning in the background. It is certainly not playing around, but that could take a long time to pass. As it on the TV, it is on Sky Sport 3 here in New Zealand. And true. And bro, hurry up and take them, says Tapola. And also, we have got there 685 Samoa, says Timiano there. But yeah, a lightning delay. How do you even write that? That is something that you would not see every day. Match delayed at 60 minutes due to lightning. We'll go with that. But yeah, if it's anything like we saw between Australia and the British and Irish Lions, it means that we could have a 30 to 40 minute break here before we get to see the players make their way back out onto the field. So quite the delay indeed. Still half time. It is currently 62 minutes through at the moment. Okay, check Sky Sport, says Polton there. And Pacific playing a hurricane. Ref is too soft, says Joel. So I think it is, Yeah, he was informed from upstairs, so I don't know who it was that said it, but it will be the same as what they had throughout the British and Irish Lions tour, where we saw the Wallabies and British and Irish Lions. They actually had to make their way off of the field due to lightning strikes. And the way that worked was they had the delay, and it has to be something like 30 minutes of no lightning within 5 or 10, 15 kilometre radius of the stadium before they're allowed to go back out and continue. That's why New Zealand, Toa Samoa, says the polo there, and I would have loved a close game from two great teams, all the best. Still, you're all great players, says Sarah T. Yeah, it's certainly been more one-sided than expected. I was hoping to see Tonga score that try just before, just to get it a little bit closer for the final moments, but all the sides are in the changing sheds at the moment. No one's really looking too ready to get back out there and go as of yet. Everyone needs to be humble. I'll be cocky after the game, says Jackie there, and 3 minutes left, says push play. And also, Oi Tonga are going to cry after this, says Tamiano. Yeah, it hasn't been their best game whatsoever, but if they come back firing in the next game up against the New Zealanders, it could get very intriguing. Now, I have a question, ladies and gents, and I feel like some of you guys will be able to help me out here. The British and Irish Lions versus Wallabies game. Which stadium was it at that got lightning strike delayed? I want to say that it wasn't Suncorp, but it could have been. I think it was the third match of the series. So I'll have a quick look and see what I can find, but we've probably got a little bit of time here, ladies and gents, so be sure to sit back, relax. If you do want to go get a drink or cook yourself some food, you've probably got time theoretically before this one gets back underway. 685 on your speakers, says Polton there. And Tonga says Tamiano. And there's come on Tonga, get your head in the game, says Kendra. And there as well, Ama'a will win against Kiwi for sure, says Charles. Well, they may come back fired up, you see, and that might be exactly what they need. So yeah, that last game, it was at Accor Stadium in Sydney, I believe that was the game. Okay, they're just saying there when they come back onto the field, it will be a slippery playing surface, as I believe it is now starting to rain a little bit out there on the park. Yeah, play suspended due to lightning. So that was Accor Stadium in Sydney, the last time that we saw that happen. And that was not too long ago. That was actually in August for the game. Stop making the bros say swear words in Samoan and Tongan, says Della. Yeah, I do get set up sometimes, to be fair. It's all good commentator. We already know Samoa won, says Chief. And what are you watching on? I am watching this on Sky Sport 3 here in New Zealand. And Tonga versus Kiwi would be an awesome game to watch. It will be. And it's next weekend that it is taking place. While we are at it, we might as well show you guys exactly what is happening around the world of rugby league. There we go. These are the upcoming fixtures. Papua New Guinea going ahead here with Fiji next week. That is the 6 p.m. kickoff New Zealand time. I am hoping to cover that game. I've got 2 matches of cricket that I'm actually playing in on Saturday, but what I'm hoping to do is play in the first and then get the second game off so that I am able to cover that game as well as get ready for the hectic rugby weekend. Rugby league game, match number 2 of the Ashes series, England versus Australia, taking place at 3:30 a.m. And then also the game on Sunday, New Zealand versus Tonga. And then I should also clarify there is a match that would be taking place as after that one. And that is the final of this competition. That is happening on Sunday, 6:05 p.m. on the 9th of November. So it is happening the week after, exactly a week after that game between New Zealand and Tonga. But so far we have seen the one result in this group. New Zealand able to get themselves the win over Samoa by the 6 points. Tonga currently find themselves with a points differential of -16. So if this game, let's just say this game ended now, Samoa would get themselves a points differential of +10. So I believe they would actually go ahead of New Zealand in the overall standings just at this point in time. Tonga, they would have -16 as their points differential, which would mean that they would have to beat New Zealand by at least 9 points to be able to overtake them and take their spot in the final to rematch Samoa. So Samoa have gone from a side after losing their first game and looking like maybe their chance of going through was a little bit slim to now actually being in the box seat with the way that they have started this contest. I have to say, yeah, it's actually a good thing for the forwards in some regards. We saw a couple of them getting massages at this point in time. We have got a new channel member as well. It is Pitu Lisi, thank you very much. But in that membership button, who you going for, Samoa or Tonga? I just feel like with the amount of time that is remaining, it's probably going to be Samoa's game here. But I'd love to see Tonga at least score themselves 1 try. Make it competitive a little bit here. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait for the lightning delay to finish off as well, because, of course, that is going to be delaying this game by anywhere upwards of 30 minutes. What do you think of Papua New Guinea versus Fiji? Papa showing promise. Results in their last game. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really intriguing contest between those two sides, because, in fact, we can actually look at that table, because that does involve Papua New Guinea and Fiji as well, doesn't it? There we go. They're actually pretty even in terms of points differential. They were both able to get themselves a handy win over the Cook Islands. So, yeah, I'd say, like, Papua New Guinea, they probably come in as underdogs for that game, but I would not write them off one bit. Just showing there for Junior Paulo. He's made 28 tackles throughout this game at this point in time. So another 20 minutes remaining. And this is going to be a very intriguing last 20, because the longer this break is, the more you would think these sides would feel rejuvenated. Yes, of course, there'll be some guys who feel a little bit of that hard to get back into the swing of things after ending up with a bit of a stoppage. But for the guys that manage to get back out there and just full on speed all the way, they could be very dangerous. And we could have 20 minutes of just all-out pace rugby league, similar to what we saw at the start of this game, because at the moment, neither side have anything to lose. Are they on yet? Not yet. Now, I believe if it's anything like the rugby union game, because of the lightning, if there is a lightning strike within about a 15-minute period within the proximity of the stadium, it does mean that they have to restart a clock where they have to have, I think it's 15 or 30 minutes where there's no lightning strike. God, going to smite y'all. Playing it on a Sunday, says Zed there. And Slow Lotion. Okay, chill. It's again, says Legion. And also we've got there, who do you think wins the Pacific Bowl? Yeah, see, once again, I think Fiji maybe could take it, but then Papua New Guinea have found their stride a little bit by the looks of the way that they played in that last game. So, yeah, it could be a very easy one that could go either way. How long is the delay? So, they haven't got a confirmed time as of yet. But, yeah, like I said, for that game that took place between Australia and the British and Irish Lions, it was each time that there was a lightning strike or anything close to the ground, they did have a little bit of a longer delay. So what I'm quickly going to do here is I'll see if I can find any information about the precautions that they had to deal with for that one. So play suspended. So they heard about the temporary delay. After a 30-minute break, the players are set to return to the field. Okay, so yeah, I think it's 30 minutes. If there's no lightning, it means that they can go back out there. If there is lightning during that 30-minute period, they actually have to restart that 30-minute timer, I believe, if it is the same as what we saw for the British and Irish Lions. Now, the good news for the British and Irish Lions in Australia is we didn't really see that much lightning around the ground. Whereas in this case, they were showing before there was lightning strikes all around the back. It is also now pouring down with rain, I believe. And God is American. Just turned Sunday, so he's done with this match. Says Surf Undies. And also we have got there as well, So Fast, or Go Fast, says Masunu. But yeah, 30 minutes is a long time for a delay. So hopefully it is not the case, and it's actually only like the 10 or so minutes. But some of these guys look like they are pretty chilled out. So I would say that they've been told that there is quite a delay here. They aren't restarting it. They will eventually. It will just take a little while. We have got a new channel member there as well from Jeff. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. You now have access to those emojis on the channel. How many more minutes? Says Charlie. So what we'll do here is we'll go back. Okay, so it's been about an 11-minute delay at the moment. So I would say if it is that 30-minute precaution, we did actually see the lightning strikes just as they were coming to a close. No, they won't. So here's Detroit. I mean, they did for that British and Irish Lions game up against the Australians, though. So that is what we're basing it off, the fact that we did see a game with a lightning delay that they then managed to get back out onto the field. We see Payne Haas on the exercise bike at the moment, just moving his legs around. Lightning selling my parlays. And stop assuming, bruh, says a loot. Yeah, but that's about all we can do at this stage, is just assume that they will give us some sort of update, which they have not as of yet. We have got their Tonga forwards definitely lacking, says Westside, although a bit of a break here will do them a world of good. They'll be able to feel fresh for that final 20 minutes. The only downside, of course, is the fact that Samoa will also be fresh for those final moments. How many more minutes, says Charlie? About 20, hopefully, but it could be a little bit less. We have got the LO Hamish not raining here yet, says Craig Booth there. Well, hopefully it does stay dry for yourself. So have you got the lightning and the thunder and whatnot yet, or is it still not too bad? Because this game, it's looking like about a 30-minute delay could be on the cards for this match at Suncorp Stadium, so in Brisbane for the contest. And Tonga has young guns learning and good experience. World Cup will be ready. And also we have got there Kamati says slow there as well. And no wonder, I asked the liquor owner, I thought first half finished, or halftime finish. Said yeah. Mother you're watching, says the AI underdog, get your guitar out, Hamish, give us a song. Sadly, I don't have the guitar on me. But it would have been a great way to fill in the gap, wouldn't it? And Hamish, how windy down your way? Not too bad. We had another wind warning a little bit earlier on, but never really led to anything for us here, which was great news. But yeah, it has been very windy around the place. We look at their Samoa, got more heart this game. Everything gone wrong for Tonga. Says you don't want it. It's about to be 12 a.m. here in America and people are still out cheering, says Lamo there. Yeah, that's the thing. You get guys from Tonga and Samoa all around the world that just absolutely love their rugby league. No matter the hour, they will be up, they will be watching it, they'll be listening about it. Your multitasking is superb, bro, get it? Says Silla there, and GG Samoa and Tonga, says Sleepy. So while we are at it in this break, we might as well look through at what has happened already in this Pacific Championship as well. We did see Fiji get themselves the win in the first contest, and that was a 20-point victory over the Cook Islands. New Zealand able to get the win over Samoa, which those points could be crucial. Looking at how well Samoa have gone here, had New Zealand dropped that game, it would have been decided next week rather than this match. In some regards, Papua New Guinea able to get themselves the win over the Cook Islands. Tell you what, Cook Islands, they're a little bit unlucky. They've actually been pretty solid in their games, scoring over 20 points in both of them and still losing. But then Australia, first match of the Ashes was not close. 26 points to 6. The Aussies getting the job done, going 1-0 up in the 3-match series. We have got there, come on, Tonga and Jan-Hendrik Wessels. Rassi wants to have that Jan-Hendrik Wessels case reopened, it seemed. And also, Tonga has bad players, says Skywalker. And he invites on the next game. Says push play. And he invites. As in, like, to have you guys on the streams push play. We have got there Junior Polo, Lucky Haumole not playing. And also we have got there Jason Tamalolo is old, says Skywalker. Although he hasn't actually been playing in this game, Jason Tamalolo. They left him out for some reason. What's he doing there in the first place, says Skywalker. Is Jason Tamalolo playing? He's not, unfortunately, for this contest. Although I feel like having that veteran may have been pretty handy. So, yeah, it's a tricky one in regards of whether or not to still have him in that squad. Like, I'm sure he's adding a lot to the team. He's still recovering. Watching from Kelly, GG Samoa says Chief there, and Tonga should have brought and Tui Lolo here. How long he is mud and halves would have made the difference, to be honest. Says West Side. And as a half-time, because young guns need to change their diapers. Come on, Tonga, what's happening? Says David. At the moment, we are 62 minutes through this game, but it is the lightning delay, ladies and gentlemen. So anyone who is just popping in now, pretty much what was happening, because of the location of lightning near the stadium, for player safety, they have to leave the field. They are just waiting to hear an update about when they are going to go back out there. Okay, they've just said on the commentary, hoping to get back underway soon. So we don't have an official date or, well, hopefully the date would be today. We don't have an official time as of yet as to when they're going to be making their way out. What happened in the Parker fight? A lot of people felt an early stoppage, didn't they, for Joseph Parker, but he did end up getting defeated in that one. And goes Samoa, says Asoa. 1 second, we'll go like this and like this. And like this and like that. There we go. So at the moment, Samoa are, of course, anticipated to be quite heavy favourites getting into the last 20 minutes. But at the same time, Tonga are still expected to score some form of points throughout this game. I think you're trash, says totally not a lace. And there, well, the great news is you don't have to listen. And Tonga is losing because in Tonga, they're parading but not going to church. Says totally there. We have got there to the game end. It did not yet. There is the lightning delay. So 60 minutes through this contest, we are waiting for it to go a little bit further into the contest to what Taleta said for still Tonga. And we have got there, why is Joseph Parker still even boxing? He wasn't he was money laundering. Says Skywalker. I hadn't heard about that. I have no idea why he hasn't been given that Alexander Usyk fight as of yet. It seems to be the one that they're just trying to avoid. Don't I thought Tonga would be more competitive than this? I think a lot of people did. Like, the thing is, Tonga, I would say they've had two big chances that they've blown here in this game. The one where there was the knock on, over the try line. That one happened a little bit more recently. And then the other one for me was when Brian Toa dropped the ball about 10 metres out from Samoa's line, and Tonga dropped the ball then on the first tackle of their set and lost the possession when they could have had a really good attacking chance. There was also a great line break from Tonga, now that I think about it, that they were just short because they couldn't quite get that next pass away. Thank you for your service. Can you please make the upcoming match so we can watch live requests from Papua New Guinea? So is that Papua New Guinea versus Fiji, Andy, that you are after? I am hoping to cover that one on the channel, as it does look like it should be a very awesome game, and whoever wins that, I believe, gets that Pacific Bowl trophy for this season. I don't think it's too technical for Parker. He may be, but I'd still like to see it. You know, I feel like it's one of those fights that before, there's still a lot of lightning in the background, ladies and gentlemen. So if that is within, I believe it's that 10-kilometre range of the stadium, it means that they actually won't be able to return until it has passed. Still rumbling a bit, says Craig there. And yeah, plenty of lightning still going next to the stadium. And while Samoa, where was this type of contest when you guys played the Kiwis? Yeah, it's the big question that people have been asking. Although I would say the best quote for that is better late than never. Because had they not done it in this game as well, they would be out of this Pacific Nations Championship. At the moment, Samoa, with their points differential, have actually put themselves in a very good position to make it through to the final to more than likely face New Zealand again. What happens if they don't return? Does Samoa win? That's a little bit more technical than I am sure of. I think if they don't get back out on the field, the game ends 16-0 for Samoa, I believe. But I could be wrong. Lyndall has said hi as well. Welcome in. Hope you're doing extremely well. Electrical storms can be lethal if hit by lightning. And also we've got there the 30-minute starts over after each lightning within the said distance. Yeah, I'm just hoping those lightning strikes in the background were further than that distance, but I'd say they're pretty close by the looks of it, which would mean we're actually now 30 minutes delayed from here before they get back underway. Call it a night and go have some dinner with the boys, says Zed there. And also, how are you watching the game? What app, please tell me, says FBI. So I am watching on Sky Sport 3 here in New Zealand. But yeah, who would have anticipated a lightning storm as a delay reason as to why they didn't get back out there on the field just for now? Replay the game tomorrow, says Charles, and Tongan team is bad. I lost full confidence in that team, says Skywalker. And call it a night and go to church, guys, says totally. And I was like, okay, thank you, says FBI. No worries at all. The game is on Sky Sport. Yeah, Sky Sport 3 at the moment, although you will have a lot of ads if you are flicking through the channels trying to find it. And that is because of the fact that this game is now delayed due to lightning. And does not mean that they won't get back out there, so they can't return. Does it constitute as postponed? Says Be Strong. I believe if it finishes the way that it is here, I think that it just goes as a Samoan victory with 16-0. Could be wrong, though. But yeah, they're just saying there, I found here that Queensland severe storms at the moment. Very dangerous supercell thunderstorms forming near Brisbane, southeast Queensland today. That's what I have found on a random YouTube channel of a guy who covers storms. That's interesting. But yeah, that doesn't sound good. Sounds like something that could cause quite the delay. For this match, the Lightning Gods are disappointed with Tonga's performance. And also we have got their Samoa passes more powerful way, and also the laughing face from Toledo there. And also I don't like lightning because it followed my thunder, and many dogs don't like it, says Bruce. I know a Polynesian has ever been struck by lightning, says West Side. And if they can't return, does it? Yeah, I don't think it counts as postponed per se. I think it's just match would be abandoned in that scenario. And it would mean that the victory would be awarded, I believe, to Samoa because of them being in the lead, I think. Could be wrong, though. There's a lot of guessing that goes on. It's not too often that we have a game delayed by lightning strikes. How long has the game been postponed now? At the moment, the postponed stage is we've been off the field for just over 20 minutes, about 22 minutes. But the rule is, if the lightning strike happens within the radius of the stadium, they then have to restart. I believe it's a 30-minute timer. So the first step, a little bit similar to a cricket rain delay. First step is for it to stop with the lightning and the rain delay. Well, I mean, it's not the rain that's affecting it. It's the lightning strike. So lightning needs to stop. Then from there, once the lightning stops, then they can start looking at getting the players back out there onto the field. They'll get a 10-minute warm-up period as well. So this game, it could take another hour, ladies and gents, just to play the final 20 minutes of this fixture. So, yeah, a bit of a interesting one to have as a closing one for this matchup. What we're going to do, though, we're going to update the time with a little bit of luck. Just so that it is still on the 60-minute mark, which is where we are. We've still got another 20 minutes remaining. Kiwis too strong. Where was Samoa Energy, the only angry birds, all cheer up now. All of a sudden, the Tongans care about the parade. Well, in a W, says Ruben. And we got a new channel member as well from Sal. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. You now have access to those emojis on the channel, so be sure to use them. If we're going to be doing more rugby league in the future, we will definitely have to get some sort of special Tonga and Samoa emojis that we can have going through the chat. GS Samoans don't claim. Stephen Setu says, I ducked my sick. And also we have got there 20 minutes left. If abandoned, usually called a draw. Trust Queensland to complicate things. Wait, if it's abandoned, it's called a draw. Is that right? No matter what the score is. Because if you're Samoa, man, you'd want to get back out there then. Because imagine being 16-0 up and having a game called as a draw. And that would almost actually take away Samoa's chance of going through to the next stage, if that was the case. So for Samoa's sake, they need to get back out there on the field and finish off this game. For Tonga, they'll be hoping there's still a little bit more lightning if that's the case. Do a dance-off to finish the game. Says beep beep. I think both sides should nominate 3 players, get some boxing gloves, stick them in the changing sheds, and winner takes all. Get a little bit of that Joseph Parker energy going in there. And we have got there, see, Hamish, you made your prediction on the Grand Slam. Says the AI underdog pick. Got a horse that says low motion, and dance off says Taletta. And there as well. And 685 on top says FBI. But yeah, just waiting for the second half. They are just showing the highlights of the Australia versus England game. In the end, a comfortable win for the Aussies. And come on, Tonga, please, do something for that egg, 0. At least put pants on, says David. Boxing says Z007. Usually. I said I haven't seen the rules for the SPC. Okay, so, yeah, it's interesting because we're at a certain point of the game, aren't we, where it's actually quite far through. So you wonder whether or not, because of the farness through this match, maybe that affects it a little bit. They got to sing a song like they did last year. Says totally. And also Tonga fans have left the stadium and taken their places on the roads. Well, to be fair, I think that if you're sitting there and you're wondering, do you stay for that last 20 minutes or do you just leave? Tonga fans walking out as biggest karma. Says Skywalker. And go Toa. Right, they are just standing by for the update in terms of what is going to be happening here for these two sides. If you can't win, pray for lightning. Do they have lightning dances like they do rain dances? That's a good question. Oh, wow. There's hail out there on the field as well. Some big, we're talking hail about probably that big or so. Out there on the field, you get donked on the head with that. There's going to be HIAs all over the place. And g'day, Hamish, who are you going for? At the moment, I'm just hoping we see the end of the match. Because at the moment, we're delayed. We've got 20 minutes remaining in this game. I would leave 2, grab a bite, and smash my lady. Says Z. And pressure on Tonga. 0 means you're not competing. Did you miss church? And also, we'll get their finish with an eating competition. Says beep beep. Who would you back in an eating competition between these two sides? In fact, I'm going to go more specifically. Hot dog eating contest. Aiden Whenua-Blake versus Payne Haas. Who are you taking in that scenario? I feel like the odds are pretty 50-50. Both men look like they could probably down a few dogs. But going out to the right-hand side, they're just showing some highlights from the earlier game. Reece Walsh lights up Wembley Stadium with 2 tries. So he's continuing his form from the Brisbane Broncos season of the NRL. How I got us disappointed with all of y'all participating on the 7th day. And also we have got there, so Sissy eating, I'll go with Whenua-Blake. Says, was there from Johnny Blaze. Payne Haas will F him up, says Skywalker. Hot dog eating is crazy. Pause. Yeah, I don't know why I thought of hot dogs in terms of what they have. I think that's what people normally try and eat quickly. And Payne Haas will F him up, and Samoa will lose, says Catherine. And yeah, the ABs will win next week. They have a pretty decent chance up against the Irish, but don't get me wrong, this island side is pretty stacked in that regard as well. Tonga loses tonight. I hope this match wakes them up seriously. Pray for more lightning until we figure out what Samoans have been eating today. And now Asafa Solomona as the 6, Adi Savia as the 7, and Payne Haas at 8. Indoor game next time, says Zed. And Dangerous Sport need to wear helmets. Well, they almost do need to avoid the lightning as well as those massive hailstones that have been falling from the sky. The result depends on the discretion of the league management, which may order imagine a replay. I don't think Samoa would agree to it, but if they're told that they have to, imagine they go, boys, we've got to come back and play at midweek. That would have my midweek sorted. I'd be more than happy to see these two sides go head-to-head again, but it's certainly not what the players will be wanting as the game going to continue. They have to wait for the lightning strikes to not happen for a certain period around the stadium so that they can then have a period of time that is away from lightning, then they can get back out there. So currently we've had about a 25 or 30-minute delay here. And this contest is embarrassing for Tonga. Says Skywalker, do you know what the worst thing is? At the moment, they've got 20 minutes left before they get beaten by quite a substantial margin. And all they can do is just sit there and think about everything that they've done wrong throughout the first 60 minutes. Samoa, they'll be chilling. There was one guy having almost that looked like a sleep on the floor of their changing shed. Whereas for Tonga, you're sitting there going, I dropped the ball at this moment. I missed a tackle at this moment. Like, how do you get yourself back fired up, ready to go for another 20 minutes after about what will be around an hour delay? Who's got the best meat pies, Aussie or New Zealand? It gets debated a bit, but I would say New Zealand, and that's not from being in New Zealand. I think it's just down to the fact that for some reason the pastry doesn't fluff up as much in Australia. I think it's the humidity or the heat that doesn't allow it to rise in the same way. Sounds very technical, but yeah, I think there's probably not so many fancy reasons we have got there. Hey guys, I speak Samoan, and 685 baby says Milky there, 20 minutes. It's still heaps of time to make a comeback. That is true, and they could be quite fresh because of the fact that they've had that break. So if anything, who knows, maybe them sitting in the changing shed stewing, thinking about their mistakes, will get them slowly just fired more and more up. For all we know, in that changing shed, they might be running drills of just smashing into each other, trying to get ready to go for the next moment. But because of such a delay, I will mention they will also give the players around a 10-minute warm-up stage just to get the bodies back ready. The last thing that they want, of course, is to have a whole heap of injuries in this moment. Since you speak Samoan, can you say, let's go Tonga? You talk too much, or you talk much, the game is the best, says Cena. And yeah, at the moment, the game is delayed. Lightning delay at Suncorp Stadium, which is, yeah, just not what anyone would have been participating or expecting in this one. How long will delays go for? So pretty much the match that took place between the British and Irish Lions and the Australians at Accor Stadium earlier on this year, it also had lightning delays. For that matchup, they were off for 30 minutes plus an extra 10 for warming up. That was due to the fact that the lightning wasn't happening around the stadium for a period of 30 minutes. This one at the moment, they were showing the angle about maybe 10 minutes ago. There were still lightning strikes hitting, which does mean that they will not be able to safely return to the field. And don't get me wrong, game would have been over by now. No one hopefully would have been hit by lightning had they continued, but it is the safety side of things that they have to keep an eye out for. Is the game over? It is not. We're only 60 minutes through in this contest, and they are just waiting to find out the exact time that they will be expected to make their way back out onto the field for this game. Someone say if the game is finished. It is not. 60 minutes through. Lightning delays are indefinite, says DJ Shack. Although in the British and Irish Lions versus Australia game, they were off for 30 minutes. Then from there, they made their way back on. So they have to wait for I believe it's a 30-minute period where no lightning hits within about a 10-kilometre radius of the stadium before they can say safely that it has passed. Now, of course, if lightning does strike during that 30 minutes, they have to reset that clock and keep on going back until they can get out there. There will be a certain amount of time after the game that they will allow for being able to continue, but at a certain point, they will have to either pull the pin or they'll get back out there. We have there Samoa Tonga. I just like that from a long time. They just heat it up, says David. And Let Us Pray says Beep. Until they can confirm the field conditions are safe. 10 to 30 minute period of clear conditions, says DJ Shack. Yeah, so probably at this stage, I haven't seen the update in terms of looking at the stadium and seeing if there is still a little bit of lightning around and back play. If there is, of course, there'll be that little bit more of a delay again here. And New Zealand pies are way better. And Channel 9 Sydney, you suck, says Oscar. And an American here, is there any difference from a New Zealand pie and an Australian pie? Americans be like, they all taste the same. There's subtle differences. I would say that, like, for me, it's the pastry. pastry seems to be a little bit fluffier or a little bit more puffy if you have a New Zealand pie, and I think that's just down to the heat again. The Aussies are copycats and it ain't even taste good. Says Skywalker, there's no point, says Bad Boys. And also Australia got the best cream pies. I can't speak on that topic, I don't think. And Americans have the palate of a 2-year-old, says Jake Toa. And also we've got their Tonga XIII, says Serge. Yeah, they did struggle at the start of this game, but there's no denying that if they get told to go out there, fresh legs, 20 minutes at the end of this game, they may just fire up and increase that points differential. It may make it that they only need to beat New Zealand by by 4 or 6 points to be able to go through to the next stage. If they can cut down this deficit, score 2 converted tries, 4 points down, still a chance making their way through. We have got there, not the horse pies, says Jake, and also Samoa, but bro, I'm a Tonga, says Apollo. And there as well. So, yeah, the Aussie commentary panel at the moment are pretty much doing a, I don't even know what you call it. It's kind of like a news report of what is happening around the world at the moment for rugby league. We did see Isaiah Yeo end up with that concussion from the game up against the English. Fans in Sydney can't watch past 6 p.m. Is that true? Are they going to cut it off once it gets to the 6 p.m. mark? In fact, that's now, isn't it, Oscar the Grouch? So I guess this is the allocated time that we would normally see. I would like to think that they would have delayed it here in New Zealand so that we can still see the end of this game. If any America is New Zealand and Australian's daddy, says Zed there. And also, please shout out, says Sergio there. And may start flooding. The thing is, those hailstones were pretty big. And also, if there's rain falling as well, it won't take long before that field does get very damp. And we have got there the real meanings of these rugby league games is to divide everyone. Same with the Kiwis. The real winners are the shops who sell the flags, and the government collects the money while everyone fights. Says Killer B. That's quite deep, isn't it? For a lightning delay chat. But yeah, a lot of support in the stands in terms of the amount of flags that are there. We have got there Matima'a Tonga, baby, says Falisiu. And also we have got there mass rain and wind here, says Choke the Woke. Yeah, the weather all around the world seems to be a little bit rough at the moment. I think there's cyclones expected in, I think it's North America in certain regions. They are dealing with that at the moment, around that kind of southern North America. You got in this game a lightning delay. We've had wind warnings all throughout New Zealand, a lot of power going out and a lot of strong winds and flooding and all sorts. They could restart the game, to be fair, or they should restart the game. Well, the thing is, someone mentioned about the fact that there is a half by chance that they may even consider rescheduling this match, which I assume would mean that it goes back to 0-0. So that is the last thing that Samoa will want, of course. And game still on, says Wartails. At this stage, no ruling of it being completely cancelled. They are going to still be waiting for that little bit longer. We have got there as well, as long as the teams have fun and safe. Says Pitulesi, exactly right. Like, player safety is the one that they do, of course, want to keep a close eye on. Stadium safety is one that they have to work on too, because, of course, you don't want to get sued and lawsuits and all that. It's Suncorp Stadium, no need to reschedule, just drink kava. Says Sir Fundies, how do you feel Samoa will do next year? The Hammer Hamiso joining Toa Samoa. I mean, I've mentioned it already on the stream. This is the strongest Samoan lineup and strongest Samoan team I think we've seen ever. And I know that that's a bold call, but I honestly just feel like at the moment they have got so much talent across not just a couple of positions. It's everywhere in this lineup. There are world-class players, and the fact that they have got more guys coming in later on to make them even stronger, it's just going to be an absolutely massive one. We have got the try that the referee cancelled was crazy. We had that one. Says Felisu. Was that the one where he did knock it on? But I think that was the one where Roger Tuivasa-Sheck blocked him, right? Stuck the arm out and then kind of acted like he put his hands up. But he did literally shoulder charge the guy. So it should have been a penalty to Tonga at least there, I believe. We have got there some of my Samoan workmates are at the game. Says Choke the Woke. Yeah, I wonder what the atmosphere is like at the game at the moment, because everyone will just be waiting around expecting this game to get back underway at some point. But they may be waiting for quite some time. Samoa is deadly. Reminder, they are still missing key players too. Says Zed, that's the scary thing. The fact that there are still more players that can go into this lineup and make a difference is such a threat in terms of rugby league internationals. We have good there. Funny how you are mad that we won, says Uo, in there as well. And also we have good there. Funny need time to get at the gels, says Charles. So the real reason why there was a fun delay was because too many crowd were I thought you were going to say something about like horses galloping or something, but no, you've said about pies. How long is the game being delayed now? Says Alazi at the moment. We are delayed by, I'm just going back here. Where was the lightning delay? About 41 minutes or so since that delay. We have got there, shut up, Uso, says Danny. It's a bit aggressive, Danny. What's up with that? We've got a rain delay. And also, lightning delay, I should say. Rain, I think that they don't really mind about. But who are you going for in this case, Danny? Are you not happy with the performance that we've seen from one of these teams? Is that why you're so aggressive, or is it just that you don't like me? It's probably the second, and I completely understand. I don't like me either. We have got their crowd might fight to use up the time. Says Nas there. World Cup would be crazy. Got the Hammer and Crichton to come in. Says Jake Toa. And go Samoa. Says Leah there. And bruv, if only they bring that game to at least in New Zealand, so that Tongans can actually afford to get there. The Tongans might have won. Says Falisu there. And also, why are you talking about our Samoans? Says Uo. And does we get their Samoa look way more dangerous with Harris Tavita on the field? Says Jake Toa there too. Yeah, they're just showing the highlights still of that England versus Australia game. In the end, a 20-point win for the Australians. So the Ashes is doing pretty nicely. Whatever you're watching the game on. I'm watching on Sky Sport now and on Channel 3, Sky Sport 3. That one, Tongans will never win against Samoans. What are you on about? Says Wazir. I switched over to the cricket. Any signs game back on soon? Still 21 minutes, 40, almost 45 minutes since we were out there on the field. No update as of yet. Is the game cancelled? Not yet. But it's still a bit of a wait and see situation. I will mention anyone who is new to the channel, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're currently 16 away from 75,500. So if you do want to help us get there, be sure to hit that button. It is greatly appreciated. What happened to the game? Still going. Lightning delay though. After 60 minutes, they have had to go off for the lightning strikes around the game or around the ground. So we've still got a little bit longer to wait to find out when they are going to go back out there. The game, etc., is cancelled. What happens? I actually don't know, to be honest. I'm sure that we'll get some sort of updated information. I thought it would just be that the result at this point in time stands, which would be a win for Samoa. But people have mentioned that it could be a draw. It could be a no contest, and then they go and maybe even play it again. The government's just sitting there. Says Killer Bees there. And also, just give the game to Samoa. It's over. Says a Diamond there. And go Toa Samoa, go. And there as well. But, of course, do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, I think I know the answer, to be fair. I was going to say, of these next 4 games that are taking place in the Pacific Championship, which game out of these 4 are you looking forward to the most? Is it that New Zealand-Tonga game at Eden Park? Papua New Guinea versus Fiji, those two sides have a win each at this point in time, so perhaps they can go on and get themselves the big victory too. But I think that Ashes series, because of how one-sided the first game was, it's lost a little bit of its momentum. England versus Australia playing again in around 6 days' time. And it does also overlap with a few other internationals. England and Australia, I don't think they've planned it very well, because that game is actually going to overlap, I believe, with actual rugby union match, England versus Australia as well. So I'm not sure who did that scheduling, but they didn't think it through. We have got there, might just change my mind to Samoa and come on, Tonga, play the game. Seeing Samoa as the only team playing, that would be boring. Come on, move and play. Says David X. And then we need more international. Samoa versus Tonga once a year is a travesty. It is. Should be a 3-match series. Even if it's like outside of the Pacific Championship. In fact, I think the lack of rugby league internationals in general is a bit of a travesty. You know, they want to grow that game heading towards that Rugby League World Cup. How about we get, similar to rugby union, some internationals going during a window, and then also another one a bit later on. Now, of course, you've got the likes of the NRL that probably have a lot of control over what happens there. But, you know, Tonga and Samoa, if those two sides played 3 times a year in like a tri-series, everyone would love it. What happens in the cricket, if there is a free hit and the ball is caught, it means not out in that case. But, yeah, the batsman will get to stay out there. The only way you can be out off a no ball is by run out. In cricket, draw Samoa on steroids. Says Pack side there. And does the winner of the bowl play the 3rd place in the cup for a promotion relegation game? I don't actually know if they're doing it this year for that promotion relegation thing. Have a quick look and see what I can find. Because I heard that apparently it didn't actually matter because Australia aren't in it for this season. So I think it's whoever's at the bottom of this grouping goes straight down anyway, maybe. Could be wrong, though. Round 3, we'll go to view all. We'll see what we can find out. We'll go round 3, round finals. Yeah, I don't think there is a playoff game or anything along those lines. We have got there the Tongan flags from Teleta. I blame the MMT for drinking kava before the game, says Falicio. Shout out, please, says Sajia there. Fiji versus the Comals will be awesome to watch. Yeah, we are hoping to cover it on the channel as well. And thanks for the coverage, Sole. Impressed that you can pronounce my name, says Afira there. And there as well. Yeah, it's taken a lot of practice for some of these names, but we're slowly getting the hang of some of it. Is it still lightning? Bloody Tongans charging up, says Damon. Yeah, so still the lightning delay. We haven't had any sort of update about what it looks like around the stadium at this point in time, but I believe they have to have a 30-minute period where there is no lightning for them to be able to continue in this match. And Tonga will do great when they select the right players. Says Skywalker. Can you be out hit wicket off a no ball? I don't think so. I think you can still have a crack, can't you? Of course, you look like an idiot because you should be advancing rather than getting back into your crease. And Crazy just want to see a good game. Tonga's still on vacation mode on island speed. We need that urgency and tenacity energy. Tapale says Z. How come they didn't do the haka together, says Trash or Pass. They did a bit of a standoff though. Not quite as nose-to-nose as we saw earlier on in the New Zealand versus Samoa match. Hi, Hamish says Vic and Boom, welcome in. Hopefully you did see my message about the fact that this game is currently under lightning strike delay. So it does mean it is going to be finishing a lot later than first anticipated. So I will keep you updated about that as well. But we've still got 20 minutes still remaining. And yeah, hopefully we get to see it happen the relatively near future. How many more minutes? Another 60 minutes, another 20 minutes of this game. But hopefully another 15 minutes or so before they get back out there. Because we've got to remember, once they are cleared to be able to start going, they will also have about 10 minutes where the two sides are able to warm up, get kind of back into the swing of things so that they don't end up with a whole heap of injuries after quite a long layoff. And yes, there's Vic and Vern Sports Chat. And shout out to the Kiwi lad, says Bad Boys there. And also we have got there, we cover, says Jagged. Also, where is the game? This game is taking place at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. So they're having quite a bad storm at the moment by the looks of it. And I think there's actually been a few warnings and whatnot around the area for Brisbane too, due to some heavy lightning and whatnot as well. And we have got there up the Hamos. And also we get there, let's go, says beep beep. And it's banging off again, no rain though. Says choke the rope. Okay, so no rain. I guess that's, the thing is, the rain's the one that we don't mind though. Is there still a delay? There is at the moment, yes. But yeah, the one that they actually need is the no lightning. No lightning would mean we're all good. At what time did the first half start? Says Wayne, it did start at 6 p.m. New Zealand time, so it started 2 hours and 12 minutes ago. So, yeah, quite a wee while since we have seen that one. I'm watching some random fella talk about cyclones at the moment and lightning strikes around Brisbane, and there are a lot of strikes at the moment by the looks of it. And we have got there, rain don't stop the game. This is not cricket. Says no, mum, and Tonga will choke. Says Skywalker. And also we get there, beep, beep. And we have got there the laughing faces from Toledo. And there too. And that's longer than low. And is that still delayed? It is still delayed for a little bit longer. No update as of yet in terms of when they will make their way back out onto the field. So I will mention anyone who hasn't already, be sure to get comfy. Grab yourself a drink. Grab yourself some food. I could tell you the hard-boiled egg story again from yesterday, but I think some people were sick of that story. Not too bad for the lightning delay. Tonga Samoa, whoever wins. Be awesome, island, brotherly love. God bless everyone. Says Pitulisi. And that's the thing. Like, that's what it's all about, really. These two sides love playing rugby league. They love being physical, and it's something that, you know, is always awesome to watch. Please update us. Yeah, so still at this stage, the delay. The game is over, man. It's bad again. You think they're going to get completely called off, choke the woke? I'm still confused about what that would mean in terms of whether or not that then makes it a win for the Samoans. You all know about Tinga. I do not. If the game is postponed for 2 weeks, then if both teams, I don't think they can delay it for 2 weeks. It would have to be a midweek game if they ended up going again. How long are the refs willing to wait? Well, the thing is, the refs, it's completely out of their hands. At this stage, they aren't even allowed to make any sort of decision. He was told from upstairs, he was like, right, we've been told we have to get off the field. Breaking news, Samoa given the win. They now lead the competition, says Diamond 420. And this is Samoa, says YTT. And also, that's game, says got to go. And let's go Samoa, says got to go. So have they actually officially updated? I've still got the highlights of the Jillaroos in their game up against the Samoans. Do you want an update from the cricket? I don't think so. I'll try and watch the last of it without knowing what has happened. Is there a history of how they handle similar delays or postponement? The only last update that we've had in terms of this year was actually British and Irish Lions going head-to-head up against Australia. They had a 30-minute delay, but luckily there was a lot of lightning after that point. So because of that, they were just able to pretty much go back out there after the 30 minutes had passed. As it finished as Junior May, we had a couple of people say that it had taken place. Update us on the other match. Which match, Packside, are you talking? I've got the updates of the matches that have taken place already in the Pacific Championships. And then also, I should mention the other game that we saw earlier on. Australia able to get themselves to win over the Samoan women's side 16-0. So it was a massive victory for the Jillaroos as they just kept on breaking the line. I believe that was actually at Suncorp Stadium as well. Are we about to get an update from the men in the booth? I don't think just yet. I'm hoping they're about to tell us. Okay, one of them's just talking at the moment. We have got there, so it's not going to continue. I think they still have enough time in regards of they can still go again. Both these ads says CC there. And also, what time is it there now from South Africa? Says Be Strong. At the moment, it's 8:15. At the moment, delayed. Let's be honest. Who has the best women's rugby team? Says Z. What's happening with the game? Says got to go. At the moment, still lightning delay. Game has been cancelled, says Bad Boys. Yeah, see, I'm still waiting for them to update me on the actual coverage to hear. Because, of course, some ones have said it's been cancelled. Some have said it's been postponed. Some have said that they're going back out there. Who got the try, says Dwayne. That's a good question. So far, okay, still hosing down. And they haven't got any update as of yet. But the tries have been scored by Isaac Targo, and then Jeremiah Nanai managed to score both of the tries after that stage. We have got the Tongan flags from Catherine in there too. I don't want to miss it, says Slim Shady. And we have got there New Zealand in there as well, says Backside. And also nice game Samoa, but don't forget who the real glory should go to, says Kipelele. Hopefully I've said that correctly. And finally a Tongan game, which here and Tonga is peace and quiet, says Falisiu. And we have got there, I hope they cancel the game. I got money on this, says Lazy. And also we have got there cheering for Samoa from Italy, says Fierce. I would greatly appreciate you popping in. And we have got their thoughts on Stacey Waka heading to the Wars. It'll be interesting. I know that a lot of those ladies after that World Cup are now thinking about seeing what other options they have got available. So, we'll see a few in the NRL. We'll see a few maybe going once again into that 7 setup. And 685 on your speakers, says Poetang. And Jillaroos it is. Go check them out. They can't be beautiful and good at rugby, all green flags, says 007. And also Samoa, says Jesse. And 685 all day, says Mads there as well. But still waiting, ladies and gents, for this game to get back underway. I'm not sure what the latest is that they can get back underway at the stadium. I'd assume that because they've got lights and everything, it would be fine. But you wouldn't want to have booked like an Uber for the end of the game. You'd have to probably cancel that pretty quick. I think if there's a stoppage like this, score stays as is. Of course, we don't want to see that, says TH. Yeah, and I do think in this scenario, I would prefer to see that than like a game just being called as a draw because of the fact that they can't get back out there, if that makes sense. Like, I would prefer that Samoa, I know that Tongan supporters would not want that, but I think that, like, with the fact that Samoa lead by so much, they probably do deserve to have this win. So, yeah, it would be better than having some sort of cancellation and then it going to just shared points. We have got, thank you for keeping us updated. No worries at all. Petulesia, it is greatly appreciated you, of course, being here. And also being that channel member as well. Be sure to get some of those emojis going in the chat too. We've got a lot of Samoan and Tongan flags. At the moment, it is a flag battle at this stage. CP3, you might want to calm down a little bit. Just let's try and be slightly respectful. All she did was go for Samoa, although I do now see that she actually said that your name was a bit homosexual a bit earlier on. But, yeah, that was because you did swear at her for a start, didn't you? And we have got there the Samoan flags from Amber Lee there too. The laughing face from Cece. And then later Tonga says Sajay. And also, if it was cancelled or rescheduled, it would be unfair either way for both teams, says Styles. Yeah. The only thing I'll say for that side of things is if this game ended with it sitting the same score as it is now, like, yes, Tonga, you could argue, would be disappointed that they don't get the opportunity to fight back in this match, but also at the same time, I think that would be the right result in this regard. This is hard on both, says CC there. And also we've got there, yes, Samoa does deserve the win. If it does end here, says Putolesi. Bro answering his own questions, says Metsu. And also we've got there Matatonga, says Tangi Noi in there. And Tonga is going to beat everyone right here. And Hammer becoming Samoa's fullback. See, that's a tricky one though, isn't it? Because what do you do with RTS in that case? Do you go the... Like, that's a tricky one. Where do you put Roger Tuivasa-Sheck? Do you move someone out of those two? We have got the Tonga go to sleep at this point. Samoa on top says Demi, or Debbie. We have got there, wash your mail, Samoa says Tangi Noa. But looking through at the stats from this game, ladies and gentlemen, so far set completion is at 77% for the Samoans compared to 74% for the Tongans. Time and possession, an extra 5 minutes on the clock here. For Toa Samoa, 56% possession in favour of the Samoans too. They have had 1,241 running metres compared to 933 of the Tonga, so they were closing in on that 1,000, whereas Samoa, they have already passed the post-contact metres, an extra 121 in favour of the Samoans. Line breaks is 3-all, tackle breaks 37, and that average set distance has actually increased throughout the second half for the Tongans. They've added an extra 6 or so metres on average per set. And then the Samoans, they are still sitting with 40 per set as well. Offloads 14 for Samoa compared to the 8 offloads of Tonga. Right. Are we going to get the update? Oh my goodness. That looks absolutely brutal. Freak storm, they have called it. The field is flooded, ladies and gentlemen. The cameras are soaked. The field looks like a bog. It looks awful. Although it's probably pretty fun for the players to go out there and play on. They're just mentioning about the dangers of the weather. Delayed so far for 50 minutes. Just waiting to hear. Okay. Okay, so what we have got there as an update, ladies and gentlemen, they are looking at the weather report, and it says that in about 15 minutes, the weather should clear. Now, at this point in time, compared to they're just showing the first half, it was so sunny when Isaac Targo scored that first try of the day. And from there, it looks completely different. Game cancelled. They have not quite cancelled it yet. Play in the rain. It's all right in the rain and the flooding. They won't mind too much for the players either. It's the lightning strikes. For player safety, that is why they have gone off the field. So if the lightning's okay and it is not striking, they should be back out there, hopefully rearing to go soon. But it has been that 50-minute delay already at this point in time. We got reschedule the game. Says Falicio there. You can play, or you can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather. Says the AI underdog pick. And also we go there, pull the plug. Yeah, see, that's the thing. The field is a little bit flooded out there at the moment. Some guys are on the bike. It looks like Josh Papali'i just getting in a few extra calories burned, keeping the legs warm. A lot of the players looking pretty casual in the sheds, though. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck should have been binned. Yeah, it was pretty cynical. And the thing is, he tried to play it off, and I just, it comes down to being a veteran of the game. He went like this. He went, I'm trying. He went like that, but really he went like that, dropped the shoulder, and then went, I was just lifting my arm. Just lifting my arm up to put it above my head. At the end of the day, your Bills don't care if you're Tongan or Samoan. And Samoans are scared if the game is cancelled for another time. Says Feliciu. And flood safety says backside there. Yeah, although Suncorp Stadium normally drains pretty quick. Wouldn't mind watching this game restart, to be honest. Says Amberley there for the Samoans. Yeah, you can see the guys, they're all like kind of shaking their legs in the changing sheds. They're all rearing to go. One of the guys is getting into the Gatorade by the looks of it. What is he doing? The moment one of the players is playing with some Gatorade. He's got 2 cups and he's pouring it in, and then he's pouring it in, and then he's pouring it in. I wonder why he's doing that. I think he's just bored, and now he's going to have it. Maybe he was shaking it up a little bit. Now he's having a bit of a boogie, having a bit of a dance in the sheds. That might have been because it was mentioned earlier on that someone wanted to see a dance-off between these two sides if they don't get back underway. Come on, man. Says Manjinda. Yeah, I think a lot of people just want this game to get back underway, don't they? Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. He's having a little bit of a dance in the sheds as well. They must have some banging tunes. You see a little bit of a shoulder roll going on in the background from Blaze Tuolangi as well. And he's given the Gatorade a secret ritual. There's Bolton there. And hand Samoa their flowers. The highlights are going to be insane of this game, by the way. If they get back out there, it'll just be a time where you go from pure sunshine to just absolutely flooded and pouring rain. Okay, they're saying there about how 16-0 is not a confirmation of a big win as of yet. There's gin in the Gatorade, mixing that steroid, says backside. And please let the game commence, says Jesse. And play on, says Deanna. Okay, so the commentators have just said there that if they score 1 try here, Tonga, they're backing them to score 2. And then in which case, cutting down that deficit, creating an opportunity to then go on and get themselves a little bit less differential to work with the next game up against New Zealand. This is what happens when you play on Sunday, says Miles. And after this game, I guarantee Samoans and Tongans will be real enemies from now on. I don't think so. I think the players, like most of them, are teammates in the NRL. So don't get me wrong, there's been some big hits, but a lot of the guys are good friends off the field. And we have there goes Samoa. Let's go, says Mavodo. And yeah, the Tongan players, different vibe here in the Tongan changing shed. All the guys are just sitting on the ground. Samoa, they were all having a little bit of a dance and whatnot. Tonga look like they are a side that are 16-0 down. And the reason that they look like that is because they are. We have there Tonga in there from, it was Tamiano, as well as I got Catherine and Felicio. And Tonga prayed for the storm, and when they saw they were losing, says Miss One's there. And also we go there, the slip and slide. And Tonga versus Samoa, always a beautiful game because of their love and support from their fans. Yeah, the fact that they had 45,000 in attendance for this game, forgetting the fact that the weather at the moment is brutal, like the fact that they were able to get 45,000 there is absolutely massive. And I'm going to do a parade, says Junior May. And also if both lose 1 win, I still want to go to the parades, says Cece. And probably half of the Tongan team is Mormon, says Ed. And also Tongan body language not great. Yeah, they look defeated, don't they? Just looking in at the changing shed at the moment, there were a whole heap of exercise bands out there. The guys are all spread out. None of them are talking to each other. They're literally just sitting there. Oh. Okay. There we go. Right. So the teams will be given a 5-minute warning that they're making their way back out onto the field, and then they get 10 minutes of warm-up. So no matter what, as soon as the call is made, we will still have another 15 minutes of waiting before they make their way back out onto the field. Junior May tackle crazy. Junior May there. And someone invite Jake the Must to live in the party. Says backside. It's hard to choose because I'm half Tongan, Samoan, and other. Says Cece. Although you got the best of both worlds in that regard. Whoever wins, you'll be happy. Whoever loses, you'll still be happy because, of course, the other side able to win. But looking through at what Jeremiah Nanai has done in this game, he scored himself 2 tries off just his 7 runs. Lightning delay, that's new. Yeah, it's something that doesn't happen too often. Last time we saw it in match, I believe, was the Rugby Union game between the British and Irish Lions and Australia in match number 3. Who won? At the moment, we are still waiting for it to get back underway, but Samoa are leading 16 points to 0 at the time of the lightning delay. This will be a Tongan comeback of the history. And also the Samoan flags from Louis Boy. Are they back to the game? They are not yet, no. The slightly sad thing is, and it's nothing to do with the game, but the local fish and chip shop here closes at 8:30. So I thought if I had enough time after this game finished, it was going to finish at 8 p.m. I was considering getting some tea from there, but they are now closed. So I'm going to have to come up with something else. I've got those hard-boiled eggs that I butchered by trying to cook them, and I just got it very wrong. They'll probably be about as bouncy as a bouncy ball if I threw them at the ground. We have got there was a delay in the NRL Bulldogs game, I think. Says Studs raised there. Is that the real score? This is the real score, 16-0 at the moment between these two sides, but still another 20 minutes to play when they do get back out onto the field. Wins the game. They are going to be given 5 minutes warning when they are able to make their way back out onto the field, and then from there, they will have 10 minutes to warm up. So no matter what, as soon as the call is made, it will be a 15-minute delay. And are your team Samoa or Tonga? Honestly, I love watching both of these sides play. You need a man, CZ, and also we have got there, bro, go to KFC. KFC, sadly for me, is a 30-minute drive. So, to be fair, actually, when does KFC close? I don't think they're open that late near me. So that might be the other problem. We'll go here, KFC, the closer one. It closes at 10 p.m. So it closes in an hour and a half, and it's a 30-minute drive to get to KFC. Can the game start already? Absolutely. I'm hoping they will very soon. KFC closes at 10:30. Says Cassius, bro, KFC is basic in America. Says Z. And there's Samoa celebrating, says Junior May. Oh, there's a bit of a limp going on there for the Tonga number 11. Sua Wong, he actually made his way off the bench as an interchange player. We have got there, mate, this host says verbal endurance. Says Miles. Yeah, it's been a hectic weekend. Yesterday, we ended up doing 5 rugby union matches, I think. Or it was actually 6 rugby union matches within 24 hours. So we did about 15 hours of streaming. This game, it is the first of at least this recent period of time. Managed to get a little bit of sleep beforehand. Some work with the bands here for Fanua Blake by the looks of it. There's so many better chicken restaurants here in the US. Says Zed. Throw some shrimp on the barbie. Isn't that an Australian thing rather than New Zealand? What part of New Zealand are you from, brother? I'm halfway between Christchurch and Dunedin location-wise. So that's normally the easiest way of describing it. We have got there, do you play the game on this live? Sadly not, but we do the play-by-play commentary. Bugger Hamish, you deserve a good feed after these 7 games. Says Naz Williams. Who's your rugby league lookalike player, says Dwayne. I don't think anyone looks like me in rugby league. A lot of them have a lot more muscle and look a lot more scary than myself. So I guess that's the question, ladies and gents. Who do I look like in rugby league? I don't think I look like really anyone. Not that I can think of off the top of my head anyway. Right, it looks like a few more Tongan players are up on their feet here, so maybe they have been told that it may not be a mile away from going out there. Set up an address so we can send you energy drinks, says Jack Toa. And we have got there Rewa Harwood. One moment. Is that like, is it the brand, the sunglasses? Rugby League. Oh, yeah, I've got there, mate, Kieran Foran. But it's a stretch. It is a big stretch, isn't it? Oh, yeah, there, you look like Kieran Foran. I mean, I'll take a Kieran Foran. Simon Mannering. You look like The Rock. I'm not sure when you last saw The Rock, but I don't think he quite looks like myself. Fozz's little brother, says Miles. You look like Simon Mannering. Says the Zali there. How about Dragons fullback Gutho? Oh, yeah. Maybe a little bit. I'll go Simon Mannering. I've got to work out what's his last haircut looking like. So he has it quite short, doesn't he? Simon Mannering's not a bad shout, to be honest. Like, if you look at... One second, I'll save this image and I'll put it up on the screen. Hopefully, with a little bit of luck. That's probably not a bad shout. At the moment, with the way that my hair is, as well as with the way that my face or facial hair is, I will see what happens if I can get this up on the screen. Is it available to put up? Oh, it's the wrong type of file. Hang on, we're going to get another image. Where's a picture of him looking kind of normal? Or at least kind of like me. This one? No, that's quite a small picture. It's hard to find a good picture of him to try and make it seem similar. Because, of course, we want it to be as close as possible. Oh, they're all the wrong file type. I haven't got them as a PNG, unfortunately. What time will the match start? We're still waiting a little bit longer. I see there, at the moment, the Samoans are passing the ball around and they're changing shed. So I would say that they are close to getting back out there. Maybe they've been given that 5-minute warning. Look like junior polo. I'll take it. And my game is starting soon. And we have got their chopper read, says Amber Lee. Maybe if I shaved a little bit of the beer, perhaps. How many minutes left? Still another 20 minutes. The crazy thing is, we go back out there on the field for these two sides, and there's still a lot of the game remaining. So if Tonga here can go out and just start absolutely firing, they actually aren't out of this game. They have half a chance of creating a comeback. Hi, does Australia have a rooftop stadium in that place with extreme weather? No, Suncorp's wide open. They don't have a huge amount of overhead stadiums in Australia. I think probably Marvel Stadium's the one that comes to mind straight away. Do Lightning is helping Tonga. Well, that's the thing. If they were tired and they were feeling gassed, they won't be now because they have had about an hour off of the field. Oh, it's got interrupted due to a storm. Why did it take 60 minutes to have that up? Can you score 3 tries in 20 minutes? You absolutely can. And, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, he's had a great game from 15. He's had over 200 metres, it has shown. But if he misses a tackle or something at the back, okay, surface water's draining away quite quickly. This is the longest you have ever commentated. It actually, believe it or not, isn't. I think we've had a live stream that went over 4 hours. This one's only 2 hours 50 at the moment, but there's still time. Is 20 minutes enough time? I think it's enough time to get at least one try. Is the game going to continue? It is. It sounds like the players are not too far away from getting that 5-minute warning, which will mean that about 20 metres out from the line, 20 metres out from the line, 20 minutes away from the game as soon as that kind of gets told to them. I'd say we're no later than, I'm going to go bold, and I'm going to hope for the best. We're no later than starting at 9 p.m. New Zealand time, hopefully. This will be the greatest comeback in rugby history. Do you guys watch the New Zealand versus South Africa? Bro, we got clapped hard. Says Bolton. Yeah, not quite the game that New Zealand were after in that second head-to-head. Getting that Eden Park win, though, so that was a big one for the Kiwis. Eden Park, the location where New Zealand are going to be playing up against Tonga next week. Right. Most of the players have gone out of the changing shed now. I think we're getting pretty close to them making their way back on. Can do over 28 scores or under. Tricky one to say in this scenario because both sides are going to be fresh. So you'd think that their defense is going to be a lot stronger in that department. But at the same time, it's just a tricky one to judge. Another try for Tonga, says beep beep. Greatest comeback, don't think so. 1998 semi-finals, Eels versus the Dog was top 10. And to be fair, not in terms of greatest ever, but the Broncos throughout their last few games of the NRL have got to be up there. Okay, the update that they have got now from the ground staff is they hope to start the game within the next half hour. And how the fans, did some leave, health and safety, oosh? I think some would have left. Okay, so the players are starting to get a little bit warmer now. How much love, family? Look after each other. Thanks, so says Miles. And there too. And oops, wrong chat, says Lux for Let's Go Joseph Parker. And 685 around the world, says Peter there as well. Okay, so I was optimistically saying before 7 p.m. local time, but it sounds like before 7:10 local time is when we will get this game back underway. But it is, of course, very greatly appreciated. All you guys sticking around for this extremely long live stream now for this game. This is, of course, not what you prepare for. But this gap, it's been over an hour and it's actually flown by. And I think it is down to the way that you guys have been in the comments, chatting away, asking questions. Does it go back on live TV? I believe it will. Although I think some regions, maybe in Australia, I don't know what they'll do. I assume that they'll bring it back up and let a Samoa there. Look at that, Fiji will smash Samoa. Has this ever happened? It happened in the game earlier on this year, which was the match between the British and Irish Lions versus Australia. You're gonna not be live, so we are gonna be doing the play-by-play, but we can't show match footage. That is due to broadcasting restrictions. Any match footage or audio will get us taken straight back off YouTube with a copyright strike. And fun fact, we've actually had a copyright strike covering a game between Samoa and Tonga before. It was actually for that Rugby League World Cup. We ended up getting ourselves false copyright strike. Luckily, got it removed within about a week, but it can be pretty tricky to deal with. I had to send a lot of emails, a few phone calls, to prepare trivia questions for situations like this. You could, but you just never expect it. I thought that the Brisbane weather, don't get me wrong, it was supposed to be maybe a bit dodgy, but this game started with sun, which was an interesting one. Also, thuds rates. By the way, one of your videos got recommended to me about the penalty try Leinster versus Munster. So I did end up watching a few hours, or not a few hours, probably this morning. It was quite interesting. You know your laws well. Probably way better than myself. We're getting back on underway soon. Less than 30 minutes away by the sounds of it is when they are going to be making their way on, but it is almost 9 p.m. here in New Zealand. It's getting more and more delayed at this point in time. Tongans won. Says Falesiu. And also, Jesus loves you all. Says Kapelele. And I love Samoa, says Amelia. And also, it's not almost 9 p.m. in New Zealand, says Junior May. And also, don't hold on to the wordy thing or worldy things. And also, Samoa, let's go. Cheer cards, appreciate that. Says Studs Raised there. And hi, Mr. Kiwi Sir. I'm back from my study session. What's happening to that side? We've got a delay due to lightning. Minio, I think you may have left just before it ended up getting delayed. So we've had about an hour so far where we haven't been able to get back underway in this contest. We have got there Catherine, single and ready to mingle, bro. Says Ethan there. And also we've got there, if you're in America, you better go to church tomorrow. Says Gump. My street's already celebrating, says Junior May. And Samoa, let's go, says Rhea. And there, and up the wires, baby, says G-String. Yeah, are the Warriors going to be able to pull off the NRL title at some stage within the next 5 years? Maybe if we start covering Warriors games, we might be able to help them in the right direction. Probably not, though. I'll probably be the thing that jinxes them. I'm so ready. Says Nelson, I'm ready too. How long has the game been? So far, the delay of this contest has been... Wow. It's been a long time. It's been an hour and 15 minutes since we last saw a tackle made in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where that time went. I heard about the lightning just before I left. What are the odds of the game getting called off? I don't think it's too high at the moment. It sounds like they aren't a mile away from making their way back out. And then, yeah, the players are going to be given 5 minutes of warning. And then from there, they'll get 10 minutes to warm up out there on the field before they get ready to go. This delay gave me time to drive up the road, get dinner before Toa Mata, my supports for the roads up. Says Michael, yeah, it's probably been a good, like, anyone who thought, I don't have time to cook something is probably annoyed now, because it has been an hour and 15. The only thing that would have taken too long was probably like a roast or something. And someone speaker is playing Yum Yum Yum. And also we have got there, yes, Samoa, says Nelson there. And also we have got there, I think next year, Samoa versus Tonga in California. We will show out, says Zed. Do you want to hear a dark humour joke? I always get concerned when I get a question like that. How dark are we talking? Is it like a slightly light-hearted one as well? Or is it like as long as it's not extremely offensive? Fish and chips officially off the menu tonight? And as yes. And also, I would say that any sort of takeaway is probably off the menu as well. Just with how long this one's been. Oh. Okay. The teams... Oh. Okay. They're going to restart in 19 minutes, ladies and gents. They're actually going to be back out there 7 p.m. local time. So, ladies and gents, we've got the update. It's going to be 18 minutes until they make their way back out. 7 p.m. local time is when this one is going to be taking place. And okay, sweet. Hey, yo, Mr. Kiwi Sir. I love how interactive you are. You have become my favourite YouTuber by far, says Mania, and it is greatly appreciated, of course. We are here many hours throughout the weekends, and it's always awesome seeing those same familiar faces popping in and out. And Samoa sad to Tonga. Just give us the win, 685 to the world. Baby, says Carolyn. I have got there, salvation's not found through going to church, only through Christ, says Nars Williams. And let's go Samoa boys. I could have mixed some carver with that delay, says Backside. Yeah, a lot of things could have been done throughout this time. Some people, they could have ended up having a bit of a tidy up of the house. They could have cooked a meal. They could have... What else can you do in an hour and 15 minutes? Could have watched a movie in that time that has been off the field almost. I had a midnight Caltex mince pie the other night despite desperate times, option for you. Sadly not. Our petrol stations all close at about probably 8 or 9. And so, yeah, I think that all that I can have is something that I've got here. I've got a few options, though. I'll just have to cook it myself. But then I'm also, I believe, going to be doing a filming session straight after this live stream. So that will happen first. That will be another maybe hour or so. So I'd say tea at about 11 p.m. Somewhere around there. Going to try my best to be here every weekend. I have 13 exams in the next 3 weeks. Well, be sure So, of course, put your exams first. Like, make sure that you don't end up getting distracted by the streams. We will still be here after those 3-week periods. So, yeah, if you have to do that, it's all good. It's on. Would have been strange if cancelled. What would the rules be? I'm actually glad that it wasn't because I have no idea. Like, there were talks of whether it would be a draw or if the win would be awarded to Samoa with this current scoreline, 685 to the world. Says Nelson, speaking of 685, we currently have about 685 people still here for this live stream, which is absolutely incredible. I do thank you all very much for being here all throughout this stream. It's been over 3 hours almost, but we've powered through. We're almost at that stadium. You're almost at the game. Getting back underway. Your sleep pattern must be cooked, my bro. It is. It's very broken. I managed to get about 3 or 4 hours before this stream, and that was my sleep for yesterday. Before that, I managed an hour nap at around 9 p.m. on Saturday night. I think that was my last proper-ish sleep, other than, of course, that slightly longer one. And then before that, I was up at about 6:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. So it's very broken. Mr. Kiwi, first exams later. Yeah, nah. She'll be right. See, I used the New Zealand slang. Says Mania there. And let's go Thunder and Lightning, says Lux. Do you like Pacific Championship or NRL more? I love watching International Rugby League, and it's always the one that gets me back into the league swing of things. Do you sleep a lot during the week? I try to get like maybe an extra hour a night just to catch up, but normally I won't sleep until sometimes about 3 or 4 a.m. Well, does it start? So it is going to be starting in 15 minutes' time. So we are pretty close to the start of this one now. Good win from the Black Caps, says David. And we have got the up the SARS, says Alpha. I assume that's for the Samoans. And what are you doing commenting with the boys? Says Zed there. Is it still off? It is still off for another 15 minutes. But then they are back out there. What time does the game start? 15 minutes from now. It is going to be a play resume at 7 p.m. local time, 9 p.m. New Zealand. I think that's 9 p.m. in Samoa as well. Maybe I'll just have a quick look. Time in Samoa. At the moment, it is 8:46. So, yeah, time will resume, or play will resume at 9 p.m. Samoan time and also 9 p.m. Tongan time. I wonder if Batman is on here. Says Kipalele. And who you're rooting for, says Carolyn. I will not lie to you. I kind of want to see a Tongan try here early on just to add a bit more excitement to the later stages of this game, because I feel like if they are able to get themselves a try, then all of a sudden it brings everyone right back into the contest. Where if Samoa score early, then you're pretty much, most people would argue that the game's over. But in this scenario, one late try or one early try for Tonga just adds that next little bit of interest and level to it. 6 p.m. Queensland time. Says Sprout there. And do a haka for us, says Dwayne. I don't think I should. Haka is supposed to be slightly, intimidating and looks really cool, and I just don't look cool or intimidating. You want a Tonga try? You'll get a few Tongan tries, says the letter. Game will restart at 7 p.m. It certainly will. So just around the corner from getting back underway. Are we still playing or not? 13 minutes time, and they are back underway for this game, ladies and gents. I'm excited. Feels like we've done a whole other game of rugby waiting for this game of rugby to get underway. Tonga need to sing to God, he will answer. Says Kipalele. And also we have got there, have you seen the weather in Brisbane? It's been brutal. This game's been delayed by about an hour and a half. And yes, 14 minutes left, and then we're back on the field. Says Caroline. And to let her as naughty, says Zed. So I guess we better go back through the lineups. It's been that long that you guys, as well as myself, have probably forgotten who is actually in the teams. But looking through, the guys that you can't quite see there, it's Payne Haas. Also alongside him, it is Ulu and also Moro, I believe, in that starting lineup. They've got Sasangi and Nanai in that 12 and 11 jersey. And then Junior Polo, the big man, slotting in as that number 13 option. Jerome Luai and also Talangi. Luai's had a solid game. He got himself a try assist earlier on when the try was scored by, would have been Jeremiah Nanai. That was his first try of the game. Marin has been quiet in the midfield for this matchup. Isaac Targo, he scored the first try of the whole match, though. Down that wing, Talangi, Brian To'o, and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, who's had over the 200 metres made throughout this contest. Looking through at Tonga's lineup, we saw early on that was terrible in terms of the pronunciation. We'll try that one again. Toi Kamanu, he has made his way off with the head knock. And that was only about 3 minutes into the contest. And now Have to wait for a lot longer before we do see it. Or we get to see him in action. Maybe in the final if Tonga do qualify. We've got there also Havili alongside Whanua Blake, Katoa and Wong, and also Kalfusi, the last man. And that Tongan fullback Katoa alongside Ongi, who was almost able to score that last try for the Tongans. Toia in the midfield alongside Kola, and then also Katoa, Tupo, and then Hopewadi is the hidden player that you can't see there at the bottom of the bunch. Now, this is the way that the tables sit at this point in time. New Zealand, they sit at the top of the bunch. If Samoa were to win this game by the margin that they are winning at the moment, it would actually mean that they get themselves into first place, and then all the pressure is back on Tonga to try and qualify as well as New Zealand. Whereas if if the Tongans, if they can create the comeback here, both sides would already be confirmed heading into the next stage. I think I broke my chair, says Junior May. And we have got there... so bad that we're still here waiting, says Varsha. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but now only the 10 minutes away from it starting up again. Should have had this game in New Zealand, says Romper Stomper. Here's Stacey Waka is going to the Wars next year. She certainly is. And go Samoa, says H. Carson. Samoa can do this, says Nelson there too. Yes, 14 minutes left. Then we're back on the field. And also, brother, thanks for the banter and dialogue. This is too long of a wait. Hope to wake up with WMNT, win or lose. They are going to be back out there in 9 minutes. Zed. So, of course, depending on what time you're trying to go to bed, will depend on whether or not you'll stay up for a little bit longer. We see there Jerome Luai just warming up in the changing sheds. And time for Samoa to shine. It's over Tonga. Cannot come back from here, says H. Carson. And come on, Samoa, says Four Kings. So the biggest thing, as soon as the players make their way out onto the field, we will just have to hope that there is no more delay. It's almost 9 p.m, says Junior May. I'm watching from Mangere car park. Let's go, Samoa, says Tori there. And Tonga praying to the rain gods to delay the game. Well, they've certainly got what they wanted there, because an hour and a half we have been delayed for in this contest so far. Aloha, brother from Hawaii. It's 9:50 p.m. here, says Chris. And Kiwis versus Samoa, says FBI in terms of, I assume that's the prediction for the final. That's such a good game, says Nelson. And there as well. They are just talking about the fact that even though Tonga are down by the 16 points, if they score early and they go aggressive, they pretty much have nothing to lose here. Points differential at this point, it's not looking great for them anyway, being down minus 16. That's going to be a pretty tough one to make up against New Zealand. So in this scenario, I think you just got to go for it. Got to hope for the best and just go out there guns blazing and see whether or not you can pull back a little bit of this one. To all you Samoans, please shut up. That seems aggressive. And we have got there, let's go Samoa, says 4K. And I love to see it. And also, well, some bad weather here in America, Seattle. Heavy wind, or heavy rain, windy and lightning. Go Toa Samoa, says Nuus. It sounds a little bit similar to what they've got in Brisbane at the moment. A lot of regions around the world are having some trouble with the weather. Ugliest haircut in the NRL right now, says Dwayne. See, I'm probably one who can't comment on bad haircuts because I've had a few of them. But I think most of them look reasonable overall. I'm looking through at this Tongan side at the moment. No one's got a haircut that really does stand out. We have there, I can see you, says Harlow. Are you outside my house, Harlow? Because if you are, I hope you brought KFC, because or else it's going to be closed by the time the stream finishes. What happened to Tamalolo? Not too sure, but he's not actually playing in this contest. I think maybe a late injury. Look at your window, says Harlow. Did you bring the chicken? Because if you brought the chicken, you can come on in and you can sit down and watch the rest of this game. This is where I actually hear a knock on the door, and that would be quite concerning. 685, baby, let's go. So here's Carolyn there. How long until the game starts? Another 7 minutes, and they will be back underway. It is going to resume. It looks like neither side are actually opting to do their warm-ups out there on the field. Instead, they're just going to do it in the changing sheds by the looks of it. And Samoans always think on a bus. Did you bring the horse? Says your mum's sugar daddy. That's an interesting name on YouTube, isn't it? I think you says FBI. And also 676 says Melly in there. Is it still raining? I think the field was draining quite nicely. Paul the Plug says Pink Cal, they are just about to be underway. 5 minutes away from the start of this contest. Again, are you streaming it live or just talking? It is just the play-by-play commentary, so just me talking. Due to YouTube's copyright restrictions, it means that any match footage or audio will get us taken straight off YouTube. And LMAO says, yeah, underdog pick in there. And a woman did better than the men's, says Rumba Stomper. As in the Tongan women's side, I assume that is. Mr. Kiwi, sir, what is the deal with some of the Oceania players having a long mullet? It's just a pretty common haircut here in New Zealand and Australia, as well as in the Pacific Islands too. I'm not too sure what the original reason behind starting the mullet trim was, but there are a lot of players now with it. And how long left? Once the game resumes, another 20 minutes remaining on the clock. And then at the moment, another 5 minutes remaining until they get back out there. Are you going to end the stream when the game starts? No. We are going to be doing the last of this matchup. And what are you watching it on? Watching on Sky Sport 3 here in New Zealand. How long do you have to wait for? Or do we have to wait for? It's still 5 minutes. So we're getting close now. And what the heck says Sue? Yeah, the delay due to lightning. Something that you don't see every day in a game of rugby league. And it just give us a beat and I can spit some bars. But I won't be able to hear them. Okay, so it isn't like a traditional thing? Not really. I think it's just a haircut that came back into style and now everyone's got one. Go Samoa, says Aiden there. And also Samoa gonna win. Let's go. And 16-0 for Samoa. There's Lonnie Bruh. And there's well. But we are currently 3 hours, 10 minutes through this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. The lightning delay. Once again, something that you do not plan for. I spit some bars, says Taleta. Back at school, me and one of the other Kiwi lads, we wrote a rap about Antarctica. And it had some bars in it. But I don't think I should rap it. Too much Versace, that's why. Says Seaballs, and also they used to rock mullets back in the day too. Yeah, back in the old school kind of 80s era, wasn't it? And go Samoa Sesamita. And also put on 685 by Victor J. Sefo. It's a song, please, bro, surely for the boys. I think it would get me a copyright claim. He's so humble. God bless you, brother. Says Dwayne, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate you being here. Don't worry, I will bring you KFC and Macca's. You're giving me the double whammy. It's a pretty generous offer. And Jesus is coming soon, says Kapalili. And also, will they end the game? No, they are going to go back out onto the field in about 2 minutes' time. So we're getting very close to the start of this contest now. We have got there. No, I can't say that. I then say I shouldn't rap it, bro. Says the AI underdog pick. And Versace on the floor, 16-0. And the Tongan flag there from Frigid. I hope that is how you say it. And also we have got there, Charlie, let's go Samoa. And Samoa for the win. Tell you what, the crowd are loud now, ladies and gents. They are happy to see the players returning out onto the field. It has felt like a long time coming. But tell you what, the field looks immense. It looks like it hasn't even rained. Like we haven't had hailstorms the size of golf balls and that the lightning hasn't been striking it big time all throughout the delay. But now ready to go. Match about to get back underway. And not the double whammy, says Naz Williams. And come on, Tonga, make it interesting. Here we go. We'll take away the match delay. Two sides ready to go. They are scheduled to get back underway at 7, but it looks like they actually kind of want to get underway a little bit earlier on. I'm so happy for Samoa wing. And who do you want to win? I've said, to be fair, Samoa deserve to win what they've done so far. But at this point in time, I would say I really want to see Tonga get at least one try just to make it interesting. I'm so happy for Samoa. And also, I read that one. And finally, says Thrash or Pass. Yeah, a little bit of wrestling going on for the Samoans here, just warming up with the 2 or so minutes, extra hours of beers, says Naz Williams. Yeah, this is definitely going to be the longest rugby league live stream we've ever done on the channel. The fans at the grounds are legends for sticking around. And the thing is, it's not just a few fans. It looks like they've still got, let's say 45,000 were in attendance, I think was the number. Probably still got a good 35,000 still there waiting for this next one. They're showing the Papua New Guinea and Cook Island game on our side, says Chris. Well, hopefully they go back to this game in the very near future then. We've got action, says MMT. And the crowd, you would think this was a World Cup final, just with how electric the crowd is at the moment. They've obviously been restless, waiting for this game to get back underway. The Samoans, I think, are a little bit happier than the Tongans, but the Tongan side know that one try here could get them right back into the contest. And Tonga should have played Kiwis first, since they've got a lot of new players, says Tapu there. And yeah, I think they will be better for this game going into the next match. Tonga will lose, waste the time watching, says Skywalker. So how many minutes left? I believe they've still got another about 20 minutes remaining on the clock. I think it was about 20 minutes, 30 seconds. But this delay, ladies and gents, has been almost the length of a rugby league game. That is how long they've been off for. But it sounds like we are just about ready to go. The delay has been an hour and about 30 minutes or so. I just want to see. Okay, 20 minutes, 45 seconds was remaining on the clock. Oh, I was just where it was. I should have worked out who actually has the ball here, because they will continue from the same set that they were up to. Can Tonga still make it to the finals? They actually can. Even if they were to lose this game, if they got themselves a big win up against New Zealand, they would quite possibly still go through. And the Tongan flags and there as well. And also, can Tonga still make it? Oh no, I read that one, didn't I? And also because Tonga still has faith that the Tongan team can score. How long until the game starts? They've got about a minute. Also, the players are just finishing up their warm-up. Still a little bit of rain falling. What's the best URC game last night? I watched replay tonight. I actually think it was probably one of the games that I didn't cover. Either Munster Connacht or Cardiff versus Edinburgh. Both games actually turned out to be not too bad. In the end, looking at the scores, I didn't actually get to watch either of them live, so I will mention that. I may be setting you up for failure here. But of the games that we covered, like, I wouldn't do Storm and Zebre. Second half was one of the worst halves I've watched in a long time in terms of excitement. Sharks Scarlets, it was all right, but yeah, I'll probably go with one of those two games that I mentioned. Skywalker, you're a bot, says Catherine there. But the possession stats, 57% in favour of Samoa. 1 second, we'll go like this. And like that as well. And come on, Tonga. Put all my pay on you guys, says Slow Lotion. And Jer says Studs Race. Right, we're ready to go now, ladies and gentlemen. They will find the mark as to where the play was. And then we will be ready to go. I believe they're up to about the third or fourth tackle in the set. And Tongans are the best when they're under pressure, says Tapu. And they've had a whole hour and a half to regain their stamina and get ready to go for this game. Right, they've found the mark. Todd Smith, the referee in charge of this one. It is the third tackle. And the rain is still falling, but as long as there's no lightning, we're good to go. And we'll finish off this game. Samoa with the ball in hand, round the halfway line, fourth tackle, and we are back underway for this match. Roger Tuavasa-Sheck taking contact. And it's great to be back. Vaimanga makes the tackle. Jerome Luai kicking this one up high after a 42-metre game. They had to hold that stat for a little while before they could use the set. Total metres made. Good tackle made on it would have been Sione Katoa. And the Red Sea has dispersed and went home. Shame on you, says Skywalker. And let's go Horsey, says Ainu there. And they're currently getting driven sideways here for Daniel Tupou. Good physicality shown by Samoa. Still 20 minutes. It's a long time remaining in this matchup. Hopefully what we can do while we wait for the scoreboard to realise that it is back underway is we will do a scoreboard of our own. And just so that we have that one updating just for now. I thought Samoa and Tongans were tough. Next minute, scared of lightning. Oh, it's more so the player safety. I don't think that was their decision to go off the field. They would have liked to finish it out, I'm sure. Fourth and final. Or now fifth and final, sorry. Almost about to happen for Tonga. That's a 4 pass out wide. And it will now be the chance for Samoa. And Terrell May is on. Away is bro. And we have got there. Let's go, boys. Run it up. Go the blue. Says Will. Yeah, one more try for Samoa here would secure this game for them. Jerome Luai getting right in the face of Sione Katoa, trying to rub it in a little bit. And yeah, Luai in a great mood after getting back underway. Are we starting now, bro? We are back underway. Samoa in possession, 40 metres out from Tonga's line. Like I said, one more try here for Samoa could secure this game. We've seen a great performance at this point in time from Jeremiah Nanai. He's got himself the 2 tries, so perhaps can get himself the hat trick. We have got there. Samoa's going to win, and Lightning more likely to hit the crowd. That is true. There's a lot more options in the crowd for it to be able to hit now. Nice run from Roger Tuavasa-Sheck. To the right-hand side, Brian To'o plays half. Now Luai, Polo, goes to Payne Haas. Trying to run over the top of Vaimanga, but he hangs on to him. Bro, would love to get struck with lightning. Or who would love to get struck by lightning, says Nars Williams. Now Jerome Nanai puts it in behind. And chance for the corner. Samoa score. And it's going to be the try for Murray Talangi. But Jerome Luai passed it across. I think I said Nanai in the end. But That will be just about this game now for Samoa. They have had to wait about an hour and a half to score themselves another try. But the directional change from Roger Tuawasa, Shekden Paulo went to Luai. The pass in behind, beautiful quick hands from Blaze Talangi, and then the finish in the corner for the Samoans to get the job done. We have got there Jahu in there, and also we have got there Let's Go Samoa, says Nelson, and no, says Slow. Yeah, that's not exactly what people were hoping for after the massive delay. Tonga needed to be the first team to score, but Talangi, I just picked him to score too early. I said that he would be the first try scorer of the second half. He was the first try scorer after the lightning delay. And I love Tonga, says Sanoa Leo. And also, guys, remember the dream, says Lux. It's Samoa electric after the restart, says Studs Rays there too. So 17 minutes left on the clock. And now with a much nicer lead for the Samoans. I know that they are saying there that there was a chance that it could have been called off at 16-0. Did they make the crowd evacuate or move from open areas? Yeah, they pretty much pushed them all upwards in the stand, so no one was down the bottom, but they've all filed back in now. Who got the try? It was the try for Murray Taulangi out on that right wing side. And Dan says Leon also, please Tonga, at least one try, says Slow Lotion. Tough kick from the sideline here for Blaze Talangi. Wants to add the additional 2 points, bringing it around, and does just that. Great kick from the sideline, making the score 22 points to the 0. And the thing is, every extra point that Samoa get here means that one more extra point that Tonga have to get up against New Zealand to try and get themselves to the front, or at least into the top 2 at this stage. Please give it to Samoa for once, says Kapelele. And I know, right, says backside there, and Kiwis for the cup, says Kai's Kitchen. And also as Manu's brother. No. Oh, don't think so. Now, this one's going to be kicked off. And, that one was almost there for Tonga, but it's taken back by Samoa once more. Brian To'o trying to step, but his boot dug into the turf there big time. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a rough one in terms of trying to keep the feet underneath players for the next little while. Now up to the halfway line, it looks like Taulangi may have actually hurt himself a little bit there. And Charles Mate said, illegitimate licensing, any match footage or audio would get us taken straight off YouTube with a copyright strike, banned for 3 months, and also potentially sued. But 40 metres out from the line, Samoa on off to the right. Now popped in behind Junior Paulo. He's been solid throughout this whole game. So has Roger Tuawasa Shek, but the try scorer first in this contest, Isaac Targo, has the carry there. Now going off to the left-hand side, Tuawasa Shek, first receiver, fifth and final there for the Samoans as they sit 20 metres out from the Tongan line. In fact, it is 30. Now Jerome Luai, he will kick this one up high. Payne Haas, the man chasing after it, and it's going to be slapped back by Tonga into their in-goal area. I think it's going to be the goal line dropout now. And thanks, Johnny, mate. Says Mania there, and run it, boys. Says Will. And I'm happy the Samoans are winning, proud of our neighbours. Says Kapelele. Or is it Kapelieli? Is the name rather than what I was saying. And could have flown from Welly to Auckland. Live back into your channel and still not started, says Miss. Yeah, it is crazy to think that it was like an hour 40 delay, isn't it? Like, people could have done, like you said, you take a flight, you watch a movie, you cook a 3-course meal, all in that time. That could have happened. Well, they got back. Samoa, though, in possession. Second tackle, 5 metres out from the try line. Back across to the left-hand side. Little shuffle there from Sasangi, I should say. How many halves are there, chat? 2 halves. So we have still got another 14 minutes remaining of this contest. Junior Paulo going across there to the side, running for close to being able to reach out, but not quite. Now, half a metre away from another try for the ever-dangerous Jeremiah Nanai. Another short ball. Payne Haas scores the try for Samoa. And they are having a field day now, I should say. We have got Show Us the Game Yadok, says Jasmine. Sadly can't because of copyright, but it is on Sky. It is on, I believe it's on Fox Sports. We have got there, congratulations Samoa, says H. Carson. And we have got there, we Tongans don't hate. We will be celebrating the win too with the Usos. And we have got there as well about Jasmine's got a mean vibe, lol, says Jasmine. Jasmine is not happy. I told you guys 30 points, says Lux, and they are just flying forward now for the Samoan team. So to answer the question of who was going to come out of the gates firing and who were going to be the better side when this game did get back underway, it's definitely been Samoa at the moment. Throughout this last 7 minutes, they have scored 2 tries. Getting a hiding. And awesome Samoa, says Amelia there. And also go Tonga. And it's a surprising result, to be honest. Yeah, it does look a lot worse on the score sheet now. Kind of giving me that New Zealand versus Australia vibe from a couple years ago. We have got there Matima Tonga. And also we get there Samoa by, or Samoa on top, sorry, says Linny there. And go Tonga. And Tonga's bad, says Skywalker there. And up the toll, although they will have to fire back in this next game up against New Zealand because it will have to be a massive win if they want to secure that spot in the final. But more likely, it's looking like it's going to be New Zealand versus Samoa at this stage. Mr. Kiwi Sir, any other rugby streams this weekend? No, I think that's all of them that we've got for this weekend. But we've got plenty more coming next weekend, whether that's Rugby League or Rugby Union. So be sure to pop on back for that. But 13 minutes remaining after the Payne-Haas try. Conversion is good as well. They're making the score 28 points to 0 in favour of Samoa. We'll get there, the Samoan flag there too. But now kicked off by Tonga going long. And Toa probably went to Samoa during the break to rejuvenate and came back 100 times stronger, says Jan. But even, I'll be honest, like looking at the two sides in the changing sheds, which is a weird sentence to say, but they had all the cameras, of course. Samoa looked determined to go back out there and looked ready to go back out there pretty much the whole time during that period. Whereas Tonga, they look like a side that have been defeated, and at the moment they are going to be. If they can't slow down this momentum, I don't think it's possible to score all the tries they would need. They'd need 5 tries in 12 minutes, and Samoa currently have the ball. Oh, thought about the offload there for Sasangi. Can Tonga make a comeback? Tonga have the chance of scoring, I think, maximum 2 tries from here. But I don't see them getting any more than that. Can Tonga make a comeback? Now, going back across to the side. One's going to be kicked off high. Contestable there under the high ball, but well taken by Tonga at the back. We've got there Tonga 0, an embarrassing feat. Yeah, if they don't get a try from this game, they will be extremely disappointed with what has happened here. Like, they have to get something on the board, you'd think. The saying there is dialed in at the moment in terms of what they have been able to do throughout recent times. Only 3rd tackle made. In fact, that is now 4th for Tonga. How much time left? At the moment, still another 11 and a half minutes on the clock. Thought about the wide pass. Now decides to use it. Bit of a rough one from Katoa. It was touched, so it is going to be a restarting set there for the Tongans as Luai makes the tackle on Daniel Tupou. It seems like at the moment, now that they are starting to lead by a lot, Luai starting to get that little bit more cocky. Starting to try and annoy the Tongans out there on the field. He didn't get that opportunity up against New Zealand, mainly because they were behind for a majority of that game. But now firmly in control. Big run from Panua Blake. Going short side again. Inside pass from Katoa. Nice step there. Coming from the Tongan with some quick step and feet in there too from Halasimi. And now this Tongan team is still great. Or still green. Says Scott there. As Jason Blaine for Tonga, he is actually not. I thought he was going to be, which is why I had him as the thumbnail. But no, he's actually not there for them in this contest. Now passing it back across, popping the ball short. We've got there, please, 1 try. And our ball says FBI, a great chance here for Tonga. 15 metres from the try line. Once again, short ball, big collision, slamming him down with Junior Paulo for the tackle on Alasima. And he's dropped that ball in the challenge. Massive hit from Paulo. And also, money will go to somebody's pockets. Says Skywalker, can you show the screen? Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage or audio will get us taken straight off of YouTube with a copyright strike. But just the 10 minutes remaining, and then they will have highlights of this game up on YouTube, I'm sure, within the next little while. Tonga's being punished for parading in the middle of the night, annoying others in their wake. Says Skywalker. And also the Samoan flags there from Karen. And that tells you Tonga is losing, he's not playing. Says Jason. And now scrum feed for the Samoans, sitting with less than the 10 minutes remaining in this matchup now. Oh, bit high on Brian To'o. I've just said here on this scoreline, Tonga would have to beat New Zealand by 17 or more to move their way through to the next stage. A man has to repeat about the copyright in his dreams too, says Tally. And when was the last time anyone beat Australia in league? Probably, I know New Zealand did a couple years ago. It looks like Payne Haas has made his way from the field for the interchange. But yeah, New Zealand randomly beat them like 30-0 in a contest. And then outside of that, Australia do win a lot. Going off to the right-hand side again. Ball's kicked high by Samoa and deep into the Tongan. Oh, that was close to the sideline. He's managed to offload it back inwards. Picked up by Samoa. And they will now have the ball. No, it wasn't touched anyway. Now we have got their Tonga again and Cook do so, says Tovia. And also everyone rate the Tongan parades. And also Tongans getting upside down. And also shutout incoming, says well. And 2023 in Waikato, New Zealand smashed them. Says Studs Race. Yeah, that was such a random game, wasn't it, from memory? Because no one, like I said, no one were really able to beat them. And then for someone to beat them, but then beat them by such a massive margin was a bit of a strange one. Will Dam says, yeah, underdog pick. And just remember, it's a game, but at the end it's nothing but love. Says Normie there. Now Samoa, 2 tackles in. They are only sitting 8 meters out from the line. It was Tyrell May having the carry there. Nice side shuffle from Samoa, but tying up the always a dangerous Dean Mariner, even though he hasn't had a huge amount of ball throughout this match. Junior Paulo with the short pass again off to the right-hand side to Francis Molo. Now let's go celebrate, says Vils. And Tonga playing for fun next week, says Kai's Kitchen. And USA chicken in, much love to my Usos and Tokos. Says it was there from, I think it was Raiders fan, or Raiders Smoke, I should say. That one's going to go into touch. Just not quite getting it into the hands of Taulangi. And Brian To'o for the last try, says Lux and Mr. Kiwi Sir. When did you start with live streaming? I think it was about 5 years ago that we ended up doing the first live stream on the channel. We've been doing it ever since. That one just a little bit too far out in front of Taulangi. I get kind of frustrated watching league. So if you hand over the ball after 6 tackles and the team only, with the ball, only gets 20 metres up the field. Says Novmum. Now Tonga, they have had not quite as many metres moving forward as they would have liked throughout this game. They would have hit the 1,000 metres now, though. They had about 900 at the break. Now Havili. Another offload there from Tonga. And the thing is, like I mentioned, they would have to beat New Zealand by 17. But at this stage, if they score another try, that then becomes they have to beat New Zealand by, I believe it would be 14 points in that one. So it can all change very quickly. The Tongans were very humble prior to this match, parading in the middle of the night. I think it's all fine, says Skywalker, and shout out to the commentary. Says Will there. Another step, I'm joking, but that sounds like they were told to throw it to keep it interesting, says Fleshin. Now pick and go, 36 metres gain. Little grubber attended him behind from Hopawari. Awkward bouncing ball, thought about popping it up. Still going to be the last tackle here for the Tongans. Looking off to the right-hand side, grub it in mind. And back there to cover is Brian To'o. 6 minutes remaining here now. And geez, they're acting tough now, Samoa. They need to focus on the game, says FBI. Yeah, there's a lot of talking going on from the likes of a Jerome Luai at this point in time because of the fact that they are leading. And God didn't punish them. They were a game short. And also we have their win or lose. Tonga's still going to party, says Slow Lotion. Now Isaac Targo again has another carry for the Samoans. 42 metres out from their own line. 4th tackle. Now back across to the left-hand side. Finding the hands of Tyrell May. Terrell May, I should say, sorry. Doesn't need to do a huge amount at the end of this game. Just gets to enjoy being out there for a massive Samoan victory. Little kick behind from Jerome Luai. Now 12 metres out from his own line. Hopawari fends off one. It's taken down by Tavita Harris. Can I get a chair? It never sounds as good when I say it, though, because I don't have that booming voice. Maybe their Tonga should go parade in India, says Vils. And so happy for the Toa, but I hope our Tongan brothers will get at least one score, says Raya. Now passed across to the right-hand side again, almost breaking through for Tonga. They've dropped the ball, looking for the risky offload. Tago has the man with him, but couldn't quite get it away. A very good tackle made by Halasimo. We've actually seen quite a bit of him since they made their way back out onto the field. There's more hype for Tonga and Samoa than the All Blacks in Auckland. So here's Dylan. Now breaking through the line. 10 metres out for Mariner. They're back to 0 in terms of the tackle number. This should be a try. Short ball between the post, and it's one for Harris Davida, who manages to score. And now bringing up the 30 points here for the Samoans. It goes from bad to worse for Tonga. 6 tries on the board. In fact, Samoa, they were leading 16-0. After this kick goes over, throughout this about 15-minute period, they have scored more points than they did throughout the whole first 60 minutes of this game, which is insane. And Samoa will win, says Skywalker. And also, can you show the screen, please? Sadly, due to copyright, anything that gets shown would get me taken straight off YouTube with a copyright strike. But the highlights will be up on YouTube in the very near future on, I believe it will be the Fox Sports YouTube channel. Whose side you on? I'm just loving watching the Pacific Championship. It's been thoroughly entertaining so far. See the coach on the sideline for Samoa having a little bit of a fist pump there too. And so, proud to say I'm Samoan. See, there's Indy there. And also we have got there how much more time. Still another 3 minutes remaining. I'm back while what happened. My device cut out for a second. Yeah, so Samoa in the last 15 minutes have scored 3 tries. How is the sport so long? Proper rugby isn't 3 hours long, says Hano. There was a lightning delay for an hour and a half in the middle of the game, which is why they did not... Like, this game is actually, if you take away the lightning delay, it's actually quicker than a game of rugby union. But because of the lightning delay that happened, that kept them off the field for about an hour 45 or an hour 30 minutes, it meant that, of course, it does take a lot longer. Now we go there, Tonga Airport, and come on Samoa, try to get to the 50, but that one has gone over, making the score now 34 points to 0. Samoan brother, but married to a Tongan. So here's Nomi there. It is Tonga versus New Zealand next week. Who just got that try? It was Harris Tavita. Managed to score it between the posts. Oh, big smile on the face of Jerome Luai now. He is absolutely loving it, looking up at the stand, seeing all those Samoan flags. Whose side are you on? Once again, like I mentioned, I am impartial. In this match, who scored G? It was Harris Tavita. Their number 14 jersey for the Samoans. And finally, Samoa learning from their 50-0. Loss embarrassing in history. What's the 685? It is the area code of Samoa, I believe. Josh Papali'i going to make his way back out onto the field for the final 3 minutes of this game. Did it end? It has not ended yet. Still going on due to that massive delay. 34-0 is actually crazy. It is, because this game was a 50-50 in terms of the odds. Like, I don't think anyone would have anticipated this one to be sitting the way that it is at this point in time. Great game, Samoans. Well-deserved winner. Hard luck, Tonga. Do better next time, says Lucy. Now, Tonga, though, they are 2 tackles in, sitting 12 metres out from the line. Okay, that one was close to being slowed down. Yes, it was. 6 again. Now, Whanua Blake going across. They need something on the board here for Tonga. Whose side are you on? Once again, I am down the middle for this game. It's been thoroughly entertaining. Of course, it would be easier to say Samoa at the moment, seeing as they are leading by the 34 points. A 6 again. Ruck infringement close to the line. Tonga just 2 metres from crossing for the first time across this whole game. They're holding him down for a bit longer too. Back across left-hand side. Going him on. Numbers here for Tonga breaking through. They will get the try. It won't get them the win. You can see the frustration on the face. Tulatau Koala does score it. Or Kola, I should say, sorry. And this is impossible, says Legacy. And I'll say, damn my house, screaming. And there as well. And we have got there. I hope Tonga get a try. Be sad. They just managed to, so that pretty much was right on cue. Last try wins. Says that's right. And we have also got the after the game. We should all sing and have a great time. Says Normie. And Tonga had so many chances, just couldn't quite get there, says Mark. The game is delayed. It's 34-4. We just called that try, so now it is 34-4. Now we have got there all day. Yeah, the Uso says FP. Yeah, 1 minute 20 still remaining on this clock now. They might get one last attacking chance if they're very lucky. Lining up the strike, Isaiah Katoa does get it over, so that will make the score now 34 points to 6. And at least it's back to 28 again. Once again, Tonga would need to beat the New Zealanders by 17. Whose side are you on? I feel like you're just going to keep on asking that without listening it, aren't you? We have got there Tonga's trash, and we have got there GG Tonga, let's go Samoa. And Toa Samoa says Harley there and bye-bye Tonga. And also, we have got there good game, boys. Your massive performance from the Samoans. Just a 1 minute remaining now. Well done, Tonga, to MMT. And 34-6 is disgustingly one-sided, I assume that is. How many minutes till full time? 1 singular minute remaining. And this contest, finally, after 6 losses in a row, Kiwis too good, says Killer B. So the Samoans, they are almost ready to make their way onto the field to celebrate with their side. And what has been a historic win, you'd have to think, in terms of this margin. And GG Tonga says, Will. And I see MMT all the way, says Nays. And there as well. And Tonga New King says trash or pass. And too late, Tonga, too many mistakes under pressure, too many miracle passes. And that shouldn't have happened. Keep the ball. Sorry, mate, moderators for the language. But now, moving forward, Tonga looking for the offload. They want one more try here. And to be fair, if they do get it, it means that they wouldn't have to beat New Zealand by as big of a margin in their next game. The time not out, bro, says FBI. And they are singing loud in the stands at the moment. Final 30 seconds. 3 tackles completed in the set. What an eventful game that we have seen here out there on the field. We had an hour and 40-minute lightning delay. How many more minutes? 18 seconds remaining on the clock. Tonga, one last attacking chance here. We're up to the 4th phase, and it is Kolu who's just been wrestled down. Game's rigged, says MMT. But now, 4 seconds left for Noah Blake. Trying to decide what to do with it. Tonga looking for the little chip in behind. Slapping it back, still on their side. Bouncing ball for Daniel Tupou. Up to 22 metres out. I think for a second, they're just going to take the collision. That will be the end of the game. And Samoa win the contest. 34 points to 6. In a game that was expected to be 50-50, it has been anything but that. We've had lightning, we've had delays, we've had big hits, we've had tries for days. And now we look forward to next week. Tonga versus New Zealand. For Tonga to go through, they would have to beat the Kiwis by 17 points by the sounds of it. So quite a margin needed. They got the last try in this contest, so I guess that's one bonus for this Tongan team. But it has certainly been quite the entertaining game. But I do thank you all very much for still being here. We are currently 3 hours, 42 minutes through this live stream. And it has been quite an interesting one. With the amount of delays that we did have, it did not seem like we were going to be waiting for about an hour 40. Weird call. Oh, sorry. Thanks, Hamish. Weird night, but another great call. Throwing up the yes, baby, says Will. And there as well, Hamish, champion, mate. And thank you for your commentary, Hamish. GG, fireworks are going off. And Tara says Norma there. And Hamish, champion, mate. And Tonga says, hey, at least it wasn't nil like somebody who tried the Kiwis. Says Slow. And also GG Samoa. Now everyone down to the Tonga parade, says Scott. And there too. But yeah, nonetheless, do thank you all very much for tuning in. What a game. Definitely for the Samoans. They have done insane throughout this matchup, and they will be more than happy with what they've been able to produce. Are you going to do another stream for New Zealand versus Tonga? We certainly are, and also hoping to do Fiji versus Papua New Guinea next Saturday as well. Are you going to say on live still, says Just Someone? We will probably be ending within the next kind of 5 minutes or so. What a game, says FBI. And GT Tonga says, well there. And everyone take it easy with the parade, says Telly. And also thanks for the updates. Appreciate it heaps. Have a good one, says Telly. And there too, what an absolute monkey fest that was. Time to go hop on in the family van and beep the horn all night long, says ARW. And also finally, after all those losses, says Killer Bees. And yeah, Samoa, they just look like the better side from start to finish here. They had more meters made in each of their sets. They had over that 1,000 meters. Well and truly, probably up to about 1,500 by the end of the match in terms of that stat. They had defenders beaten, keeping the ball alive with some great offloading, and also just continued to find opportunities. Tonga, they had a few chances. They didn't take many of them, other than that last chance. And the game, regardless of the result, congratulations Samoa, and sincere commiserations Tonga. GB and best wishes for the next games ahead. Sweet dreams, Hamish, says Sana there. So yeah, thank you very much for being here. And of course, we will end up seeing you next week as well. Thank you, brother Hamish. Another awesome stream done. Cheers, brother, says Johnny Blaze. And also, we have got there, thanks for the match, Samoa, and hopefully Tongan learns and hardens up. It will be a massive learning experience for this Tonga side. But now they don't really have time to be disappointed about it because they have to jump straight into next week where they will be going head-to-head up against New Zealand. So that is not an easy one to deal with, of course, because the Kiwis getting themselves the win over the Samoans just last week by 6. Shout out to the commentary job. Good job, broski. And also already hearing the horns beeping. Says hip-hop there. And thank you for the commentary, says Slippy there. And thanks so much, Toa Samoa, says Lafata. So yeah, it does increase Samoa's points differential by 28 in total. So looking at the way that the standings are at the moment, that would actually bump Samoa from 3rd right up into 1st place. They will have 2 points for the win. And also their points differential is now going to be sitting at plus 22. So no one is going to stop them from going through to the next round. They have now secured that spot. And the next stage, we have got there bad tempers and fight at the parades. Says Nars Williams, thanks for your commentary. Says Slippy, no worries at all. And also, why are your streams so long? What happened? A lightning delay happened in this game. It took up a good probably hour and 40 minutes. We were waiting for this one to get back underway, and in the end it did, which was fantastic because 16-0 turned into 34 points to 6. So we actually ended up, after that delay, seeing 24 points worth of tries being scored, 4 in total. Credit to you for commentating the match. Cheers, bro. Says Slow Lotion there. An amazing night, brother. Good stream, says Dwayne. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. And there was a game delay. That's why his stream was very long. Yeah, it's 3 hours, 45 minutes. It went on for quite some time throughout this one. Thank you for the commentary and interaction, Mr. Kiwi Surf. Thank you very much for being here, Mania. I wish you all the best for your exams. And yeah, hopefully they do end up going extremely well. Hopefully everyone stays safe out there. It says Kapile Eli. And Shot for the Stream says Trash or Pass. And yeah, thank you all very much for being in the chat for this one. It was a long one. Anyone who stuck around for that full hour and 40 minutes, hopefully I didn't bore you to death throughout that time. But yeah, we will be back for more in the future. Next weekend it is a hectic one. Rugby Internationals coming up. So looking forward to seeing what does happen there. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Low-key commentator is MMT, says Catherine there too. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all for the next one.